Presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.
Good evening and welcome to the Coach's Kage Show on 3KG, thekage.com. It's our weekly get-together with area high school coaches. We're here with boys and girls coaches today, looking back a little bit at last week's games and maybe looking ahead on what's on the slate coming up. I'm Bill Kage, joined by Bob Kurtz and Scotty Miller, as always. And getting us started here tonight is North White Girls coach Brian Heimlich. Brian, welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out again. Appreciate all you coaches. You guys are great. And tell us a little bit about your week with the Lady Vikes. I know we talked a little bit pre-show here that you guys are showing some improvement from what is a tough season, I'm sure, but improvement's the key. I got to figure when things don't go your way in wins and losses.
Yeah, I mean, we are. So, we had, since last Wednesday, we played 3 games. Last Thursday, Pioneer came over to our place, and, that was one. Pioneer, I think, had won 2 coming into that game. Actually, 1 coming into the game. And then, so we felt, we were kind of comparable with them, that we would be able to come into it and, hopefully maybe come out with a victory. But, early on it was back and forth. It was 9-6 after the first quarter and then 14-9 at halftime. And we just weren't hitting some shots. I mean, that was a big thing in that game is we were getting plenty of looks, just weren't able to knock shots down from anywhere on the court. And, in third quarter, I think we got it 17-15 at one point. It was a 2-point game midway through that fourth or third quarter, and then right towards the end of the quarter, we let them. Defensively, we had some breakdowns. We let them get first I think we had a turnover and they scored, and then just didn't defend a 3 like we needed to. One of their shooters we knew. We just didn't defend right. They hit a 3, and then they came out and started the fourth quarter with another 3 off of an out-of-bounds play. Again, we just didn't defend right. And, the way we've been scoring this year, 6 quick points like that is not good. And just like that, we were down, double digits, and, it was a struggle. Ended up 31-19. Autumn Reif led us in scoring with 8. Morgan Carter had 6, and Sable George 5. But it was one of those games. We competed well. I thought we did a lot of things. Defensively, I thought, except for those, couple mishaps there right at the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth. I thought defensively we played well. Offensively, it was just shots. We weren't making shots, and so that was disappointing. But I mean, there's nothing you can do when you can't hit shots. You can't hit shots.
Were they good shots or were they?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were getting some really good shots in that game, and that was one of the first games that really felt that way. And I thought we got some good looks. We just weren't able to knock them down. And then Saturday, Tri-Township came down to our place. It was a boys-girls doubleheader. The varsity girls led off. And, they were undefeated coming into the game. We knew they were going to be it was a tough opponent. And the first about 3.5, 4 minutes, we weren't ready to play. It was a blitz, and, we were down, I think it was 19-1 with about 3.5, 4 minutes into the game. And, kudos to our girls, though. And we called a couple quick timeouts. We actually got it down to, it was 19-6. We scored the last 5 points of that quarter. So you're down 13, and Autumn Reif, has been one of our leading scorers and such. She had picked up 3 fouls in that first quarter. I mean, I think halfway through the quarter she had 3 fouls, and we had to take her out. And so then I told her, I said, you're going to be playing with 3. You got to learn to play with 3. And she sat the rest of the first quarter, but then the second quarter we did a lot of offense-defense. Like you normally do. Maybe at the end of a game we just did it. We just started doing it, and Melanie Crawford came off the bench, sophomore. I thought she did a nice job on the defensive end of the floor in Autumn's place, and Autumn was able to score 5 points in that quarter. But it was, I think, at halftime 29-11. So, at halftime we're talking about, it's right now that first 4 minutes is the difference. I mean, it was 18 points then. It's 18 points now. We just wanted to chip away at it. And, the third and fourth quarter was kind of the same way. We kind of hung right with them. I mean, we played even really the rest of the game. It ended up a 30-point game. But, free throw line was what killed us. We got to the line in the third quarter and 0 for 6 in the third quarter from the free throw line. And, I think we were 2 of 14 for the game. So, I mean, we left a lot of points there at the line. And
what do you shoot it on the year about?
We're about 40%. I mean,
we
are struggling. Yes, we are
yeah.
struggling right now. And
is that frustrating when that happens?
It is.
Sure, you practice it probably.
We do. But it's something that the girls are going to have to. They need to practice on their own and they're going to have to get more shots up on their own, and just that's just a thing that. It's confidence. You can't do it enough in practice to get, the amount of repetition that you need. You can't do that in the season. I mean, it's something that it's on your own in the summer, the spring, the fall, those types of things. That's just a repetition thing and getting some confidence. But
do you try and have the girls shoot a certain way, or you let them shoot how they want to shoot?
We do, but I think once they get – I think what I've always said, once they get to high school, it's kind of hard to change that. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, even, late middle school, I mean, it gets harder to change shots, especially if they're out there doing it. It's, unless they are committed to doing that on their own and getting that same repetition, it's going to revert back to what they've always done. And so that makes it hard. But, so that was I said that, they were an undefeated team. It was a tough competition, but then last night we went up to North Judson, which is another tough place to play. And they were a couple games over 500, and we knew they'd been playing well. And they threw they were going to throw a full court press at us and then play some half court man. And I thought overall it was probably the best 32 minutes of basketball that we played all year. I mean. We came out, got an early lead. We were breaking their traps and able to score some against it in different times. We were being aggressive with the ball and getting them in some foul trouble, getting to the free throw line. And defensively we were really active and getting some and getting boards. I mean, it was just a lot of different things. I thought. Katie Westerhouse came off the bench and did some good things, especially defensively, made some nice looks. Kaylin Applegate made some nice passes against the press. We were throwing over top to her, and then she was hitting Autumn, and we were able to break it. And it was 26-17 at half, and again we felt pretty good. And third quarter, I mean, it was right there. We didn't start off the first couple minutes. We didn't start off real well, but we didn't. We also, we made some mistakes, but we didn't fold at that point, and I think they actually got it up to 12, but we had it down to 7 at the end of the third, and we went 3 for 10 from the free throw line in the third quarter. I mean, we got them in foul trouble. I mean, you think of that. I mean, we were down 7, but we missed 7 free throws in that quarter, and so that was it's frustrating because you're playing well, but a lot of things that the girls were doing offensively and defensively. We've definitely seen improvements from a month ago, and so that was positive to see. I mean, we had it. I think it was 35-30 with 4 minutes to go, and we had called a timeout, get a little breather, come out of that timeout. I mean, they scored, and then I think we went 4 possessions in a row in the half court. I mean, they were just playing man. We just made some bad decisions. We had open kids, under out of bounds. Just a couple sets we ran. And just weren't able to, make the right pass, or maybe even catch the ball. And 4 turnovers in a row, 4 possessions, and they scored, I think, in about every one on the other end. And 5-point game went to 11-point game real quick. And so the end ended up 46-32. But again, I think we went 9 of 22 from the line, which I think. At that 4-minute stretch when it was 35-30, we were 7 of 20. There's 13 free throws that you've left there too. But again, I thought I saw some improvements. Autumn led us in scoring with 17. I think she had a double-double last night. Very aggressive on both ends of the floor. Morgan Carter, I thought, really did a nice job being aggressive. Something that we've needed from her. She was somebody that played last year a little bit for us in a role player type situation since we had some seniors, but we need her to be that other scorer. And I thought she was a little more aggressive taking the ball to the hole, and ended up with 7. And I mentioned Katie off the bench and Kaylin, and then Maddie Westerhouse I thought was another one. She'd been struggling a little bit, but she came in the third quarter and did some nice things. She didn't score, but she just defensively she got some deflections, got some things, just was in the right spot and got a couple rebounds, things like that. So just overall it was a good team effort. Just unfortunately weren't able to knock some key shots down, and then that part of its youth is those key turnovers when you get it close. Those close situations last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, and I think we go back and show film again, show them things, because I think they did some things that we showed them last week in this game, and then we just got to show them again, and hopefully we just keep seeing that improvement.
You're halfway through the season now, so give us a little report on what you've seen the first half, what you like, what you dislike, and where you're at as a team halfway through.
Yeah, I mean, we knew this was going to be a struggle coming in. We were very young, not a lot of experienced guards for one, and just overall, not a lot of experience, overall as a team. And so, and then you put that together with the fact that our schedule the first month and a half here has not been an easy one. It's been a struggle at times, but I have seen a lot of improvement. Just being able to break the press. I think the girls have gotten more confident handling the basketball, not only dribbling, but just being able to pass strongly through traps. We're starting to. I mean, we've really been pressing a lot to them about ball faking, pass faking, and those types of things, and they've been doing that a little bit more, and just meeting passes in those types of situations. Last night was one of the first times that we really saw it. We were able to attack it and get them out of it, and and then just being more physical against teams. And, defensively, I've really liked our effort defensively the last probably 3 weeks. Now, if we can just get some offense to go with that. But defensively, I thought our girls have really been active and starting to really buy into that. And, it's just a matter of we're not real big, but we've got to be able to play physical and not back down from people. And our guards have started to do that. They started to attack, and I think you saw that with the amount of free throws we shot last night. Teams are going to put pressure on us because we've struggled handling the ball, but I've told the girls you just got to be strong with it. And, we got to the line 22 times last night, so I think that's something. Now we just got to be able to knock some of those down. So, yeah, we've made improvements. Told the girls our schedule is a tough one. I think teams are combined about 45 games over 500 right now that we've faced, and so that's but that makes it. I think that's going to make us better here towards the last month of the season too.
When you look at that schedule and you say, going to get better, what are your thoughts? You even think about like the sectional this early in the year, and that hey, maybe just maybe you can get in there and knock somebody off. And
well, I mean, your eyes always down on that road, obviously. But right now we're still. I mean, the conference is something. Your conference games, and just. I mean, really, with our team this year, I think just improving daily is something that we've really stressed, and just trying to the next practice get better at something, and then carry that over to the next game, and just kind of carry it over from week to week. Then, and hopefully by the time we get to that point, I mean, maybe we can. Knock somebody off when we get to that point, because obviously, we're going to be somebody that is going to be in that position, or we're not going to be one of the favorites this year. So, but that's the goal. It always is the end goal, is to perform as best as you can when you get to that point in the season, and hopefully we'll get there. I've been seeing signs of that, and we're halfway through the season, and so hopefully we can get there.
How's the girls' attitude been? Are they hanging in there and still have enthusiasm?
Yeah, I think they have. I've been proud of them. We've had some good leadership, with some. I said we don't have seniors, but I've been happy with some of our, our leadership. I know because it can be very easy when you got a record like us and face some of those teams that we faced and gotten beat down a little bit to kind of go the other way. And I think as coaches. Coach Hook and I have tried to stay positive with the kids and just tried. I mean, because if you're negative with them, they're gonna go to get negative too. So they're young. We're just trying to make improvements and just try to keep them positive and keep them heading in the right direction. I think they've done a good job of that. So,
what's up next for the Vikes?
So yeah, Saturday we go. It's an afternoon game. We go up to Morgan Township, playing very well right now. I believe they're 9-1. So not going to be an easy task going up there, but I think if we can put together a game like we did against Judson last night, I think we'll give ourselves a chance. I mean, that's what we've been telling the girls is you got to put forth the effort and both ends of the floor and just give yourself a chance at the end of games, and then hopefully, as we learn, through some of these situations that we'll be able to, execute in those. When we do get to that point again. And so that's the big thing is get yourself in that position, be able to do it. And then next Tuesday we go on the road for a conference game at Faith Christian. So, those are the two before Christmas break here that we have coming up.
Now, you will not be here next week, right?
I will not be here next week.
And then we're off the next 2 weeks. So.
Yeah. So during break, we do have a tournament at our place that we put together this year. We got a 4-team tournament one day. We're going to play 2 games in the morning, and then consolation start at 4:30 and championship following. We will be starting it off playing Clinton Prairie, and then Couts and Rochester are the other 2 teams coming into it. So we try to get some teams. Actually, I think 3 of us were in the Twin Lakes tournament in years past, and so we try to get. I mean, it was more of similar sized schools, and then 2 kind of geographically just kind of opposite each other. So, and then we're going to rotate that. So this year we're hosting it, I think, and then we're just going to rotate it between the 4 schools as we go through. So it'll be a neat little tournament, and looking forward to it. And this year, it's at our place too, so that's good.
All right, Brian. Well, thanks for coming tonight, and have a happy holidays, and we'll see you in January, okay?
Okay. You too as well. Thank you.
Brian Heimlich from the North White Lady Vikings, back with more of the Coach's Cage Show on 3kgthecage.com.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals, increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodeman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
Now, don't adjust your phone or your iPad or your computer. Matt Sipkma has joined us. Matt, good to see you, man.
Good to be here. I'm really looking forward to being here.
Former North White boys coach, and we've had, Daniel Jakes is sick, assistant coach. Joe Smith's on assignment in Frankfurt somewhere tonight. So they called in the extraordinary pinch hitter here, Matt Sipkma.
Yeah, Joe called me this morning, and he said, hey, would you mind going to the show tonight? And I'm like, I'd love to go.
Little pizza, little
Little
camaraderie.
pizza. Yeah, exactly. It's been nice.
Well, what's it been like, first of all, for you stepping away from the basketball coaching rank?
A lot of pros and cons to it, to be honest with you. I'm now the Dean of Students, assistant principal at North White High School, so it's a big jump from the elementary school to the high school. Taking full-time classes through Indiana State right now as I work towards my degree, so very busy. I haven't had a chance to really have any downtime yet, so people keep asking me, do you miss basketball? Of course I miss being around the players and with everything going on this time of year, but it's just been so busy and crazy. There has been a couple of times where the varsity will be having film upstairs. I'll be in the building. Coach Benakovich, we're really close, and he'll have the JV downstairs, and I'll be like, hey, Coach, can I take over and do some of my favorite drills? He'll say, Coach, whatever you want to do, they're yours. And Joe will come down with the varsity kids, and I'm like, I need 15 more minutes with this group. So, just a great relationship with Joe and RB, and still be able to be doing some different things to help the program out.
Well, you still got a son that plays on the
Yes.
varsity team, and I hear you got another new job running the clock this year, too. Huh?
Yeah, I'm telling you what. Yeah, first, Braylon, he's a junior. He's really enjoyed it. And truthfully, if I got to be honest, he's almost enjoyed the coaching change. I mean, he's like, Dad, he's like, sometimes you were pretty tough on me, and I probably was. And Coach Smith is just a class act, and he loves playing for Coach, and, that it's worked out well in that aspect. But then, yeah, we had some clock issues, and Mr. Woodcock, we had a game, and he was like, hey, can you keep the clock? And I must have did a good job, because then the next night I'm doing the clock again, and I'm telling you what, it was pretty intense with the lacrosse game or Tri-Township game, and I was like, man, I'm sweating. Like, when you're coaching, you just can't control the outcome of the game, but here you're like, get that clock shut off and on.
Well, how many games do we have to talk about from last Wednesday to right now?
2 games.
2 games. Well,
Yep.
tell us about each one of them.
Well, Friday night, a little disappointed. Coach Smith, we disappointed as well. We played Rensselaer. We coming off a great weekend the previous weekend. We had we beat Attica, and we played a really good Rossville team. To really, it was an 8-point game with 4 to go. We lost by 15, but a lot of momentum to build off both of those games. And Rensselaer came to town, and we were excited about that and playing against a bigger school, and we know them really well. And boys seemed all jacked up, excited at school, and then for whatever reason, they just came out flat. And scouting report was simple. The drone boy, got to run him off his spot, can't let him shoot, and somehow we get mixed up off the tip and between a man and the zone, and drone hits the first 3 wide open. They get into their press, and then we don't break half court before it's 7-0. And it was just that kind of night, and I think we got down, 18-2, 18-4, but more importantly, it was the physicality of it. 1 through 5, Rensselaer's players were physically stronger than our boys. So you put that in with the fact that we got punched in the face really quick, just made for a long, long night. And Coach used some timeouts, switched some things up. It didn't stop. And to give you an idea, I think I had Rensselaer for 24 transition points to our 0, and then 32 points off our turnovers. So it's just like we didn't even get a chance to put a half-court defense on, right? Coach had some great zones he was doing against Rossville and Attica, different sets he was doing offensively, and it's just like we couldn't even get into them. So it was very, very frustrating.
Either end.
And it was the same thing through the whole game. We tried a bunch of different things, like I said, and we could not match the physicality of Rensselaer. And then, like I said, it's not that we quit, but I think, too, we're familiar with John Harrell. A lot of players, coaches are. Some people might not be. But Harrell actually had us projected to beat Rensselaer that
That's
night,
Bill's
51
buddy.
to 50. So I believe that Rensselaer also used that as motivation. They had to have seen that. And, I was talking to a parent from Rensselaer afterwards, and they said, hey, Matt, this is the best our boys have played all year. And I said, not taking nothing away from the boys, but this is the worst we've played all year. Like, we were 8 for 20 from the foul line. But
You took it out of them the next 2 games.
yeah,
for the Bombers.
so that final score was 65 to 24, but I think the fourth quarter scoring was like 6-4. It was pretty much decided by then. But the beautiful thing about basketball, unlike a lot of sports, especially if it's a Friday night, get an opportunity to play Saturday. And we played Tri-Township. They're 1-4 in the season. They beat Wheeler the night before, so they were struggling a little bit, but had to win another belt recently. And we just come out and we're flat. I'm like, what are we doing out here, boys? We're flat. We get down like 17-4. And then we go. We
2 in a row.
2 in a row, but 17-4. It's the second quarter, and I'm just like, I felt okay because they didn't have the physicality Rensselaer had, but I'm also like 17-4. We're halfway through the second quarter. We got 4
You had to hold
points.
your breath.
did.
Couldn't talk. Say
I
anything.
did. Well, I tell you, I'm sitting there on the scores book, and I'm like, I tell people, like, I don't get mad at the officials. I coach all these boys.
Yeah.
So it's like, gosh darn it, cover that spot. You talk about it like sometimes too. When Rensselaer was pressing, let's go back to it in just a second. Coach Smith has a perfect, press break against it, but it just takes one guy forgetting where he's supposed to be at,
Right.
not covering the back row, not covering this spot, and then you get yourself trapped in the back court, expecting a guy to be here or there that you practice all week and they're not there. But we went ahead and did our own little press against Tri-Township. And Dane Hood had some big steals. Brendan Hood had some big steals. And next thing you know, we're down 19-16 at halftime from 17-4. Starting the third, it's kind of sloppy. We get the lead. Or Chris Annis and Braylon hit back-to-back threes to give us the lead, and I felt pretty good. And we got up by 4 in the third quarter. And I felt pretty good. And all of a sudden, we have 2 or 3 turnovers in a row. And I know Joe's just going crazy, and they're self-inflicted. They're not Tri-Township's doing nothing to force us to turn it over. We can't get in our offense. But we got up by 7 or 8 in the early of the fourth. They come down, hit a really tough 3, which that's just how your luck goes sometimes. Cut it to 4, and then we have a turnover, and they cut it. They're shooting free throws. So we go from 7 to possibly 2, and this is all with like a minute to go in the game. It's like, oh, gosh. Then the kid missed both of his free throws, thankfully. So I think we got away with came out with a 45-38 win over Tri-Township. A much-needed win coming into this very busy weekend.
3-3. That's not bad.
As coaches and people that are familiar with the area, you look at our schedule, and I would have loved to. I thought 4-2 was a possibility. The North Miami game, 2 years in a row where we just.
He remembers.
We should have beat them last year, and we should have beat them this year, and we dealt with foul trouble that whole game. But no, 3-3. I mean, there'd be a lot of coaches that would be happy with 3-3 right now, and we like the wins, but first to tell you, we got to get better in different areas.
What's up next for the Vikes?
Big weekend. We had 5 of our first 6 at home. We go the next 2 on the road. We go at Tri-County on Friday night and at Twin Lakes on Saturday night. And Tri-County first conference game of the year. I was just teasing Ryan because I know the Zarcy boy has not played this year, but I would be shocked if he's not out there on Friday night against us. So
we'll ask
him. So
we're going to be there.
We'll be there.
You will
be
there. We're excited about that. And,
hey, the big news is North White's allowing us to live stream in their gym this year.
That's fantastic.
So Bill and I put our heads together and we came up for one game in February for the boys to.
We're excited about that. We really are. But like I said, the first conference game of the season for both schools, I believe. And if you have any ambition or desire to win that conference, you gotta start out 1-0. And last year, we lost to them in the sectional finals by 2 or by 3 in overtime, and lost to them by 8 in the regular season last year. So we're familiar with them. They're familiar with us. They know exactly what offense we're going to run and who we have and what we got, and vice versa. So it comes down to execution. I'm sure they're going to do the same press that Rensselaer did on us last Friday. I'd be shocked if they didn't. So be prepared to handle that 2-2-1 press and not turn the ball over. And that's the key. I mean, when you turn the ball over like that, you don't even make the other team work for anything. It's just like, it's frustrating, and then you played bad, but no, you didn't. You just won one phase of the game. So we got to take care of the ball. And we've done a better job against Tri-Township of cutting down the free throws. And then Saturday, I mean, Twin Lakes, they're good. I mean, they
put it to Rensselaer.
Yeah, and that's a game. What's still nice about it is Coach Smith still allows me to have huddles, so I get to watch all the games. And he loaded that game up pretty quick that night, and I was able to watch that game. But it was almost more of a Rensselaer kind of hurting themselves a little bit. But I like the way we match up from a physicality standpoint with Twin Lakes. They're not as physical as Rensselaer. I mean, but they cover their spots on the court well. And I think that's one thing we got a bunch of new starters this year, new kids, and we're happy with being 3-3. But sometimes we're not familiar where we're at on the court with each other. Whether it's the press break or our offense, that Coach Smith has a great offense he's put in, and it'd just be one guy breaking down. So I think that's what Twin Lakes has over a lot of area schools is they're fine-tuned in what they do in both phases of their game.
Before I let you go, I know you're stepped away from basketball now. Is there any time in the future that you might want to come back and be a coach?
Well, yeah. I mean, my wife's like, what? Yeah. Actually, we're getting a little elementary program going with that in West Central this fall or this winter, and we're going to start in February, March. And I have a son that's in second grade, so I'll be coaching him with that. But then if the opportunity presents itself, I love being on the court. I really do. And, my wife is great, and she even, when I took this new position, I asked her originally, I said, how do you feel about me taking this position? Of course, she was just very supportive, and she said, whatever you want to do, I'll support you. But then, September, she was like, I'm going to miss seeing on the sideline this winter. But I've been blessed. I'll make it quick. I've been blessed at North White. I've had so many opportunities at the school over my 16 years there. And
you've been there 16
years at North White.
Wow.
And
started when you were a kid.
Yep. So I've been blessed to have all different type of hats, and whatever opportunity gets presented with, I love it. But I would love to I would love doing it again at some point.
Hey, we've been lucky with Daniel Jakes. He's just been awesome stepping in. We knew that Joe wouldn't be able to come to these Wednesday bad timing, and to have somebody like Daniel step in, he's done just a tremendous job for us.
He is, and he's got. I know he was at BC and Frontier as assistants. He knows the game, and at some point, whether it be North White or wherever else, he's going to make a fine varsity coach someday.
I believe it.
Matt, we appreciate you. Good seeing you again, and appreciate you coming over and talking a little North White, and good luck.
Thank
maybe
you.
Stop up and see us Friday night.
I'll stop and say hi Friday night.
That'd be great.
All right,
yeah.
will do.
Thank you.
Matt Sipkema from the North White Vikings, and we'll be there for the Midwest Conference boys matchup. Tri-County hosting North White at 6:15 for the pregame show. Back with more of the Coach's Cage after this.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook or by calling 219-275-2441.
Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
24/7 Club Fit is a 24-hour keycard accessed fitness center located in downtown Rensselaer. The 8,000 square foot facility offers free weights, weight machines, and a large variety of cardio equipment. We also offer free aerobics classes. 24/7 Club Fit offers 6-month contracts starting as low as $25 per month for students, those 55 years and older, and there are no sign-up or keycard fees. We also participate in the Silver Sneakers program. Call 219-866-0033 or contact us on Facebook. 24/7 Club Fit, where time is no excuse.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Welcome back to Arnie's Pizza. Bill K. Bob Kurtz and Scotty Miller here with you tonight with our weekly Coach's Cage show. And joining us now is Frontier Boys coach and son of Terry and Jay Fagley, who I'm going to fess up to it right now before that guy gives me grief on the air. But, man, your dad walked past me and I didn't even recognize him. Jeez, oh, Pete. That shows how long it's been.
Yep.
We probably haven't seen each other.
Been a
Back
while.
in the day, we used to go to Purdue games together.
That's right.
All
I
kinds of
remember.
good stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, next time I spot him, I'll definitely know who it is. But yeah, that was cool. Well, anyways, Trent, tell us a little bit about what you guys had last week with
so
Falcons.
we've been bit by the sickness bug here at Frontier this last couple weeks, and like I said, through 5 games we have 5 different starting lineups. Just trying to get healthy.
You're supposed to have one.
I know, right? And that's hopefully from here on out we have one. But yeah, we're at the first couple games. You're trying to figure out who it is, and then we figure out who it is, and then we lose everybody to sickness. But yeah, we played Rossville, which is a tough one regardless. Down 3 guys, and it kind of got the result that we kind of saw coming. We didn't shoot it very well. We turned the ball over a lot. We just had some comfort with some guys who we expected to be there that weren't, and it got us out of sorts. But I couldn't be more proud. The next night we turn around and we're going to Caston, sectional opponent. I've never been to Caston. Coach
lucky.
Davis, I know, that's what I heard, right? Coach Davis does a great job. Everybody's kind of warning me like, hey, he does a great job with what he's got available, so just be ready. We go there, we start feeling out the game, how they're changing defenses, and we get Drew Turner back. Chase Winkler was able to play. Neither of them played as much as I would have liked them to, but we can't beat them up coming off of sickness. So playing them in pieces where we can, and had a lot of guys step up, and Blake Sorensen had a huge game for us, just getting back on the boards, and Colton DeLosh was everywhere stealing the ball and finishing on the fast break, and we just had a lot of guys step up and play good basketball, and next thing you know, we find ourselves in a 29-29 game with a minute left and with the basketball. So
Play for one?
Play for one.
All right.
That's right.
There
So
we
we
go
go play for one, and my guys did a great job holding the ball and draw a little something up for one of our guys, get it in the middle, and they collapse on him, kick out, pass gets tipped a little bit, and Reed Duncan catches it, lets it go, and bang, that's it. So to get my first win in dramatic fashion in a situation where we were men down, couldn't have been happier. It was cool to see the guys kind of rally around each other, and the confidence they carried on from that was huge. The defense was incredible. now that we're getting guys back, we're starting to get in the flow again, and we'll start putting in the basket.
What was it like for the first win for you as the varsity
Oh,
coach?
man. I mean, I don't think I realized how big it was going to be. You know what I mean? Like, just in my head, like, I got hit with a lot of emotion as soon as the game was over. Like, hey, that's cool. You know what I mean? But I didn't expect that to happen. I'm like, well, I won a bunch of games in the past, coaching, playing, no big deal, whatever.
Right.
And then having that first one, and I think the
You're
situation,
in charge.
right, and the situation too, like, kind of catches you off guard. Not that I didn't expect us to win, but we knew it was going to be tough. Well, that's a tough environment, so we went in and won it. So I mean, yeah, I was a little more emotional than I thought I would be.
It's hard to win a basketball game. It really is.
Very, and that's why I always tell the guys, like, enjoy it. Like, don't ever be like, well, we should have beat that team. No, it's hard to win varsity basketball games. It's difficult. So when anybody's ever like, well, don't, relax. You were supposed to win that one. Like, no, enjoy it, right? Always enjoy it.
Yeah.
So you back to health now or no?
Back to health. Got everybody back. And so we've put together a good week of practice, and then it doesn't get easier. We go to Clinton Prairie, 5-0 or 6-0. Very, very good basketball team, long, athletic. And then we start conference play Saturday at home against South Newton. So we're get into Friday night, try some things that we need to try, get guys back in the flow of playing together, and then be ready for Saturday night.
And South Newton just won their first game last night too. So
So they're getting it going too.
Conference pretty even, Stevens-wise?
I really think so. So I mean, a lot of the ones from around here, and then I saw that North Newton beat DeMott Christian the other night. So then that put them kind of moving towards the top. But a lot of teams haven't even really got a chance to play each other yet.
Yeah, they might be two of the only teams. I didn't even run off the conference because nobody played any games.
Yeah, those two played.
Were there
and I
two
think
others?
that's it.
I think that might be it.
I think that might be it. Yeah, and there was a couple other sectional matchups, through that'll show a little weight later. But as far as right now goes, I think it's just DeMott and North Newton are the only ones that even played.
Do you put a lot of emphasis on Midwest Conference?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of what we've been prepping for because we know we play a brutal start with BC, Carroll, Tri-Central, Rossville, Caston, Clinton Prairie. Like that's a tough
bunch,
ask
yeah.
out of the gate. And then that gets us to South Newton, Twin Lakes, and then we go to a Couts tournament, and then from there it's North White, Tri-County, Faith, like in a row.
Right.
So we put a lot of emphasis on making sure we use these first games, learn something about ourselves, fix it, be ready for late December, early January.
So that South Newton game's going to be big, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a huge one because that kind of sets the tone for what I guess I'm looking at is like your new season. So you get these 6 games that are really, really tough at the beginning, learn from them, see if you can steal a couple of them, roll into the games that matter in the Midwest Conference.
You're 5 games in now.
Yep.
Are the players getting to learn you a little bit more and you getting to learn the players a little bit more, or do
100%.
you know that?
Yeah, no, it's been great. So as far as them learning me, as soon as I came in, I set a lot of expectation. I'm a stickler for a lot of little things, but I think they're enjoying it because there's nothing's left up for question. Like they know what's expected, they know what we do, whether it's at practice or games or even simple stuff like we're not even having to relay anymore, like what we're wearing to school or what we're wearing on the road. Like it's a finely tuned machine. And then me learning the guys, I'm starting to learn a little more like what makes them tick. Like how do I get a guy going? He's having a rough game. What do we do to get him going? What set does he like? And that's the kind of stuff that I'm having to learn from. Personality-wise, we get along great. I just have to learn their basketball side now.
5 games in.
Yep.
You're the head coach. What responsibilities are different than being a JV coach?
We chatted a little bit about that a couple weeks ago as far as like what may be the difference, and I think the biggest difference is just running the program top to bottom. As far as game night stuff, not so much. I'm the second game instead of the first game, really. That's about it as far as that goes. But you're coaching still like talent for like talent, so I don't really look at it any differently. But it's more the preparation that goes into it than it is game night.
And you pay attention to what the middle school does?
Yep. So we also so I go to the radio show in Monticello Saturday morning and then to our youth stuff. So we do K through 5th grade in the morning on Saturdays.
That's nice.
Yep, every Saturday. So we do that, and then we have our walkthrough, and then we go to our game. So Saturday is kind of gone for me. What I've been doing, so again, Jack Mikesell, my JV coach, has been fantastic, and the guys helping out. But I'm also able to sneak here and watch my son play basketball at Rensselaer before I head that direction too. So that's been nice.
You're got a full plate.
A full plate.
Bill, anything else you want to?
Well, I was going to ask, how much time do you devote, like planning, like looking at the other team, as opposed to just fine tuning, the Falcons game?
I am a big proponent, especially right now, of us learning a new scheme of making sure we focus on us. So as far as my guys, I don't talk about the other team hardly at all until later in the week. They know their matchup, so if they want to watch film on their own, they can. I have the game plan given to them, but I don't spend the entire practice saying, hey, well, number 4 there is going to attack the base. Like, I don't get in their head about those things because we have enough we need to learn right now. So we watch our film together, and then I usually make clips of the opponent. And then it's hard, like this week, we want, obviously, to beat Prairie. That'd be great, but our big focus is Saturday night, South Newton. So do you prep all week for Prairie and then prep for the important one 2 hours on Saturday? That's the hard part is the give and take on that, and not clouding those guys with, hey, here's Prairie, here's South Newton, here's it, like just kind of keeping them playing free.
How's the JV doing so far?
JV's playing well. I believe they have 1 win, but with all the sickness, I've been yanking guys from them left and right. So Rossville night, they started 3 new guys. So it's kind of a
shoes on the other foot from last year.
100%. Quit taking my guys, Jack. But yeah, so that's what it comes down to. Is that I'm sure that's how Jack feels with me. Like, you gonna leave me, anybody? Like, I need some guys down here. But we already play enough freshmen without illness, and then so would have been Rossville night. I dressed 4 freshmen. So it's tough with youth, sickness, all that stuff. But hopefully all behind us, and we're rolling into the conference schedule. That'd be great.
All right, we'll let you go, Trent. Appreciate you coming in. Bill, say hi to Jay, okay?
I will.
Okay. Yep, hello.
All right.
See you. Thank you, guys.
All right, Trent Fegley from the Frontier Falcons, back with more of the Coach's Cage after this.
Anders Water Conditioning in downtown Rensselaer is here for all of your water supplies and softening needs. At Anders, we sell and rent water softeners, water coolers, and have all of your bottled water and salt needs too. Call Chuck to set up your consultation today. 219-866-7430. Anders Water Conditioning. Family owned since 1991.
After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student-athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
Every day you listen to the news, but how is that news affecting your financial world? Things like your retirement and your kids' college fund. You need someone who can help you work towards your goals. Someone to help you move forward in the times of change. Call Mindy Byer at Morgan Stanley. Mindy has 20 years of experience as a financial advisor, and she's right here in Northwest Indiana. To make an appointment with Mindy Byer, call 765-420-8433. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC.
Reinforcements Designs is a full-service graphic design, screen printing, and sign shop. They offer logo designs, screen printing, banners, signs, vehicle lettering and graphics, airbrushing, vinyl letterings, digital printed graphics, freehand engraving, and more. 37 years of design and graphics, Reem Bontrager will help you come up with a customized project of your ideal or plan. Just ask. Give Reinforcements Design a call at 219-866-8626 for your next graphic design project.
Bill Kay, Scotty Miller, Bob Kurtz with you. We're hosting the Coach's Cage show on 3KGthecage.com. You can check us out anytime, either live or just go to our website or Facebook pages and anytime, and you can watch the replay of what goes on tonight. And we'll be at this place Friday night. 3KG is going to be at Tri-County for the Midwest Conference boys game as the Cavaliers host North White. Should be a good game against 2 good rivals. So talk a little Tri-County basketball with Ryan Harrington now. Ryan, good to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Good to see you guys.
All right. 2 games to talk about for the Cavaliers. Take it away.
Yeah, so 2 road games for us last week at Twin Lakes on Friday night. So county rival for us on the other side with White County. And They're a really well coached team. Obviously, Ken Adams has been there for a really long time and
forever, hasn't he?
Yeah. The court's named after him, so he's been there a while. And they got some really good players. Jamison Owsley for them. He's a senior, really talented left-handed player. He hit a shot that ended up being kind of the game winner for them in the sectional last year, and he was really good against us too. He scored 18 against us, and really the story of that night was just we got off to a slow start. And kind of the theme of our weekend was struggling to make some shots in general. So the nice thing, turnover-wise, we were down to 13 turnovers on Friday night.
You
so
can live with that.
We can live with that, but we just got to, make some shots along with that. So
good shots or forced shots?
They were fine shots, so you got to make them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if they're a good shot if it doesn't go in.
Right.
So that's our biggest thing. And, I have full confidence in the guys. Riley Hughes actually was our leading scorer on Friday night with 9 points. And then Grayson Schneider had 8. And Kobe Baylor only had 7. So it was kind of a struggle for Kobe on Friday night. But
our team's focused on him
yeah,
a lot.
I was going to say, you could tell Twin Lakes was definitely focused in. If Kobe had the ball and he put it on the floor, there were 2 guys on him pretty quick. So, which we talked to the guys about. We just got to be prepared for that. When you have a guy going into a game averaging 19 points a game, it's pretty easy for the opposing team to circle his name and say, we got to limit his opportunities. So, kudos to Twin Lakes. They were able to do that, and we just have to learn to adjust and give him more opportunities. The good news is with Kobe is he was 5 of 5 at the free throw line, so that's where he got 5 of his 7 points. We'd just like to see him get there more.
All right, and then the Saturday night?
Saturday night, traveled down to Seeger, Williamsport Elementary gym, so it's a kind of an old-style gym. I mentioned last week it's got bleachers on 3 of the sides. It wraps all the way around. It seems like every time we go there, they have a youth cheerleading thing going on. Their coach told me there was 140 young girls there doing youth cheerleading. So that gym was packed and it was hot. I mean, before the tip-off even, I had my sleeves rolled up. So it's a really cool environment, though, a really cool gym to play in. We struggled to score early on. The score after the first quarter was 13-4. So it's not a lot of opportunities. Only 4 points in a quarter, and you're going to struggle. But we just kept clawing back, and going into halftime with a score of 12-25, we're losing.
Were you getting good shots? Or?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, there was a couple of those that were layups. We just got to put them in the hole, and that's the thing. And we come out the second half, played them solid. Our man-to-man defense was really aggressive. We were able to get some steals, and we won the third quarter. We won the fourth quarter, but when you dig yourself a 13-point hole, it's hard to get out of that.
Yeah.
So there was a point there in the fourth quarter. We cut it to a 5-point game, had the ball with an opportunity to maybe make it less than that, and we just weren't able to execute. So, kind of a tough game. Kobe was able to score 12 for us that night, and then Tyler Burns had 8, so pretty solid for us scoring-wise. And, obviously I've mentioned kind of a different group of guys scoring for us this weekend, which is nice. We just need them all scoring together at the same time. So positives, again, we didn't have a lot of turnovers, only 10 turnovers against Seeger.
That's great.
Yeah, and again, they're defensive too. We only gave up 46 points, which I'm proud of against Twin Lakes. We only gave up 47. And the other thing I didn't mention about the Twin Lakes game on Friday night was we held them to 3 points in the fourth quarter. So when you're able to do that to teams, I mean, we're going to have opportunities. We just got to be able to score the ball more consistently.
So you're a fourth of the way into the season now. What do you like about your team? What do you need improvement on?
Yeah, so I just mentioned, defensively we're in a much better place than we had been. As long as we keep executing the way we have been, I really like where we are defensively.
Zone do you play or man-to-man?
We've mixed it up a little bit, so a little bit of both. Just, change it up a little bit. Don't let the offense get too comfortable. And then offensively, we just got to get a little more comfortable. I've mentioned before we've had Eric Zarzi out, so
will he be back now on Friday?
He's close. I don't know if he'll be back Friday yet, but he's been going through all of
his
his
game
process.
time decision, as they say.
Sure, we'll call it that. We'll see. I mean,
tell him we're going to be there. We want to see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
we'll
he's going through partial practices, so he's been running up and down the floor. He's looking pretty good. So it's just one of those things where you want to make sure he's all the way back.
Absolutely,
especially with something like an ankle, if you don't have confidence on it. You're in a basketball game, there's a lot of cutting, constantly putting pressure on that ankle. So that's the biggest thing. We'd love to have him back for North White, but we just want him to be back and be healthy for the whole rest of the season when he does get back. So that's our biggest thing with him. But, the few times when he's been in practice, he's kind of a calming force. You can just tell the vibes on the floor are a little different with Eric Zarzi out there. So
he's a senior, right?
He's a senior.
Yeah.
He's played all 4 years on the varsity level. We're looking forward to when he gets back. I think that'll change things as well. But I'm really happy with the guys that we've had that's been playing. The nice thing is we've had guys like Tyler Burns, for example. He's gotten a lot of varsity experience that he wouldn't have gotten had Eric been healthy here at the start of the year. So in the long term, I think it'll benefit our team because we've had some guys who've had some real great experience here early in the season, and that can only help them as we get deeper in the year.
Well, we heard Matt Sipkman talk about the North White plan against you guys Friday night. What's the scouting report on North White?
Well, Dane Hood's really good. So we got to limit Dane Hood, and then we just got to be solid. And more than anything, what we continue to focus on is just what we have to do to continue to improve because, like I was talking to you guys earlier, we had been struggling defensively. It was just all about defense. Like we could talk about the quality of opponents we're playing, but if we aren't doing the things that we need to do, it doesn't matter. So we've been improving on that, and that's what we've really been focused on is how can Tri-County keep improving. We've got some really tough teams moving forward, and North White being a conference opponent here before Christmas, it's one that obviously we've had circled since the start of the year, and we've just talked to the guys about being ready to go. We played them tough in a sectional championship last year, and it may be a couple different guys, but at the same time, they're going to be just as fired up to get another opportunity to play us. So it's just one of those things we got to be ready to go, and I know obviously Joe's going to have them fired up, ready to play, and I'm excited to see how it goes on Friday.
Now you play Saturday or no?
We do. We actually another travel for us. We're going to Traders Point Christian. So
whoa.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Bill doesn't know where that is.
No.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting.
Is that far away? I assume
it's like around Zionsville. So
whoa.
Now it's just off 65, so it won't be too bad. We'll just take 65 down, but it'll be a little bit of a travel for us.
Glad it's on a Saturday then.
Yep,
huh?
that's why we took it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
We knew we don't have to go to school the next morning. So.
And next week?
Next week, we are off. So after
okay.
Saturday, we don't have anything till after Christmas, and then we're going to be at the Hebron Holiday Tournament. That'll start December 27th. So we got a little bit after Saturday.
Is that a 4-teamer or?
Yeah. So we'll play Hebron on the 27th. It's supposed to be a 4-teamer. Last I knew, there was only 3 for sure in. Victory Christian was originally supposed to be in it. I believe they're out. I haven't heard officially who the replacement is, but
got to buy.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe draw their buy.
South Bend Career Academy is that other team, though. So I know we have ourselves, Hebron, South Bend Career Academy. I'm not sure quite yet who that 4th team is. Last year it was Culver, so we'll see. Usually good competition there.
How's the JV Cavs doing this year?
They're still up and down. They're 1-4, so they've had their moments, but. Where they've struggled is no different than the varsity. You got to put 4 quarters together to win basketball games consistently. So now they're in a unique situation of Coach Cook's having to deal with me stealing some of his guys for quarters. So there's a little bit of managing that as well. And some of those games may be different if guys play all 4 quarters. But they're just continuing to improve, continuing to do the things we're asking them to. And that's all you really need from the JV team at the end of the day. The wins will take care of themselves as long as they keep improving. That's all we really want from them.
Ryan, thanks for coming over. Appreciate it. We'll see you Friday night, okay?
Thanks,
Ryan.
All right, Ryan Harrington from the Tri-County Cavaliers. Back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3KGthecage.com right after this.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a well of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Midwest Contractor Services of Rensselaer, with over 15 years of experience, offers both insulation and gutter services for new construction and existing homes in Jasper, Newton, Lake, and Porter counties. You could save money and lower energy bills by adding more insulation to your house. New insulation project? Let Midwest Contractor Services offer you a custom insulation package that fits your needs. Leaves in your gutter? Let us give you a price on leaf protection products that really work and are affordable. Call Marty or Mark at Midwest Contractor Services today at 219-866-0755 and get an estimate for your project.
Reinforcements Designs is a full-service graphic design, screen printing, and sign shop. They offer logo designs, screen printing, banners, signs, vehicle lettering and graphics, airbrushing, vinyl letterings, digital printed graphics, freehand engraving, and more. 37 years of design and graphics, Reem Bontrager will help you come up with a customized project of your ideal or plan. Just ask. Give Reinforcements Design a call at 219-866-8626 for your next graphic design project.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to the Coach's Cage Show on 3KG, thekage.com. I'm Bill Kage, joined by Bob Kurtz and Scotty Miller, as always, and it's always fun to talk to some of these coaches whose teams are on a roll.
Some of them, you say.
And if
again, like I said, it's good to be here with you.
Thank you, Wes Ratke, the Rensselaer Central.
We can put wheels on that chair. We can roll him right outside.
Yeah, open the door and
right there you go.
Go ahead. Couldn't stop.
Yeah,
Coach, you man, it's been a nice season for the Lady Bombers. Things just, I watched you a little bit last night, and for one, where are the fans entering? That gym looked empty.
It was empty.
Jeez,
It definitely was empty.
That's no good.
Tell
them to come down to Rensselaer and see how
should be. We had a I know the camera you couldn't see behind the way it was done, but we had a better crowd than what they did, obviously, and it is what it is. And I told the girls, I said, we got to bring our own energy. We can't rely on fans. We can't rely on other people. You have to bring your own energy.
Sure.
I mean, when I played college ball, there was games when there's 2 or 3 people in the stands when you're going to travel, and it's just crickets sometimes. So you still got to play the game. But, we started off really, really slow. It just, man, we had a lot of looks, and we just missed a lot of layups and a lot of shots that have been falling for us here lately. And just it was a little bit of a struggle. And I think some of that Tuesday night, traveling to Andrean, we've never played there before. That's the first time I have ever been in that gym. So it was a little different for us. The atmosphere there, as far as you go down and you got to go around and back around, and then you go into a locker room where I thought the lights were off, and I turned the light switch and they were on. So it was a long run, but it was good for us, I think, to get up there and play against a good Andrean team who is well coached and plays hard. And that first quarter, they gave us everything they had, and we kind of struggled there a little bit.
What was the first quarter score?
5-4.
5-4.
High scoring there.
Yeah, tell me about it. And that's not. And you guys have seen us play. That's not typical for us to get in that kind of situation of 5-4. And like I said, we missed just a lot of layups. I mean, we had plenty of opportunities. We just didn't finish there for a while. So, but getting to that second quarter, we ended up scoring 14 to their 6, and we really started finding the bucket more. And we could see a light at the end of the tunnel as far as trying to put the ball in the hole and getting things done. But they did make a little run at us and ended up being at halftime 19-10. And again, that's not something we're accustomed to either. We're usually accustomed to a little bit better of a spread. But, again, you're at their place. They're going to give you their best shot. And we had to come out and fix some things. Rebounding-wise, we had to fix some things. And I thought coming out the second half, again, a little bit struggled a little bit again with the shots falling in the third quarter. But, man, all of a sudden that fourth quarter, we flipped a switch and we scored 20 points in a bat of an eye and get the job done. And again, I think we had on the stats. We had 13 turnovers and they had 26. I think we had somewhere around 16, 18 steals. We shot 42% from the field, even though that's not too bad. We missed quite a bit, and so we got to fine tune those things. 3-point wise, we didn't shoot the ball very well at all. I think we're like 1 for 9, and that's something we got to fix. And we tell the girls, I don't mind you shooting them, but we got to make them. If we're 1 for 9, we've got to make some adjustments here. So some things we got to work on and continue to fine tune. But overall, it was a good night for us. We ended up winning 46-23.
I was impressed with your fourth
yeah.
quarter.
Like I said, that fourth quarter, yeah, we amped up the pressure, we amped up the ability, and that's what their coach afterwards. He's like, he said, I knew it was coming sooner or later that you guys were just gonna somehow turn the switch, and that's what we did. I think Roland had 8 steals in just that fourth quarter alone, with just Cadence and Taylor just amping up their pressure, and Sarah. That allowed the frustration to come. As soon as that girl would turn her back, there goes Roland with the steal. So it was just a combination of everybody finally working together and clicking and doing some good things. And the ball started falling in there. And again, Taylor came alive that second half. She kind of struggled the first half, just missed some shots. But, man, that fourth quarter, she had 6 quick points that were so fast. She stole the ball in the open floor the one time. I think she took maybe 2 dribbles, I think, and got to the rim that fast. And it was nice to see the ability that she was able to turn up. And again, so we end up with 46-23. We keep all of their, they don't have anybody in double figures. Their number 2, their guard, Arcella, was their best player, and we kept her to 4 points between Cadence and Courtney Matthew and Taylor and Sarah just switching off of her and keeping her in check. She was only allowed to get 4 points, which was a big plus for us. And she's their main ball handler, so we really hounded her all night long and really put the pressure on the rest of the team. So the girls responded well, and we did, like I said, did a lot of nice things. We only had 13 turnovers, which is 13 too many. But, we can live with some of that. Some of it was just trying to make that next pass or the nice pass. We had a lot of nice passes last night. Just didn't finish. So stuff we just got to continue to work at. And we did it today in practice. We worked on a lot and talked a lot about that today. So leading scorer for us last night was Roland with 16, then followed by Van Meter with 11. And then, again, it was kind of spread out between the rest of the girls. Drone had an off night with scoring, but she played some good defense, did some good things. Brody came in and when Drone kind of got foul trouble and got some things and helped pick up the pace. Andrean has 2 big girls. I mean, 6'1" and like 5'11", and we had that was a matchup that we had. We've faced some matchup problems, but nothing like that as far as somebody maybe outsizing us a little bit that we haven't experienced so far this year. So, but we handled ourselves well, and again. Sarah Kaufman all over the place. The girl was just everywhere, especially that first half. She just kept us going. And that second quarter, she found her groove there and was all over the place there as well. So, again, Roland doing what she does. Like I said, she had 8 steals in that fourth quarter. Just all of a sudden she came to life too, and I was like, at one point she came off the floor. I said, well, hey, thanks for showing up. Thanks for turning it on now. And she kind of just gave me that look and smiled. So, but again, great effort defensively by Cadence and Jesse Fleming coming in and doing some good things. And again, I keep telling
nobody fouled out. Right?
Nobody fouled out. Nobody fouled out. Courtney kind of struggled a little bit, with some physicality of, man, she drove the lane a couple times. I thought it was a foul, but they told me not. So, but she did a nice thing as a freshman. She brings that spark and that speed that we need at times. So overall, everybody did a good job. I thought Bailey Radke came in there at the end of the game and did some nice things as well too. So overall, great effort by all the girls on a like I said, on a Tuesday night, traveling to Andrean and came out with a 46-23 win, which puts us at 13-0 right now.
And one play that I remember was Andrean girl, their basket was here. For some reason, she was coming out dribbling away from the basket, right in front of you, and one of your girls was guarding her, and then the other one came from behind and knocked the ball probably 50 feet down the court. I think you scored a layup.
Yeah,
off that.
That was one of those that Roland did. Had come, we were putting that pressure on. The girl turned her back, and Roland timed it at just the right time, knocked it out, and put it the right way for us to go the right way for a layup. So
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and there were some good things. Like I said last night, I'm sure I've heard a lot of people say, "Man, that first quarter was tough to watch. You should have tried being there coaching it." Van Beener and I and Coach Mans were just all looking at each other like, what is going on? But again, it was we were getting the shots. They just weren't falling. The things what we wanted to do were happening. We just had to calm down a little bit and put the ball in the hole, and we did. My dad called me that last night, and he's like, son, he said I was up there begging him just to make a layup. Would you make a layup? So it was one of those games where it was a struggle for us at times, but the girls persevered. They came over top of it. I'm very proud of them and their effort. They didn't hang their heads, even though some of them, like I said, some of them it was a struggle. They felt it, but they kept going and kept playing together as a team, and that's the most important thing. They kept fighting, and nobody gave up.
You got another game to talk about, right?
Delphi, yes, that was before last night. Yeah, Delphi.
Saturday.
Saturday we go to Delphi, and it's not I don't know that I like going to Delphi. It's just not a fun place to go to. We win the game 66-46, but we just. When you look at the scorebook, it wasn't ever close, but it was just a poorly officiated game. I'll be honest with you. It was just poorly officiated game. There was stuff going on. For instance, the girl dribbling right in front of me from Delphi dribbles the ball off her foot, and I catch it. And the official says, white ball. And I look at him, and I look at Van Meter, and he looks at me, and my girl, Cadence Mans, is off, backing off. She's not even around the girl.
You must have still been on the court then.
I don't know. And the girl, bless her heart, from Delphi says, and it's quiet, she says, sir, that was off me. They didn't touch it. And I'm looking at him. He says, white ball. And I said, she just told you, white ball. Okay, so I gave the ball. So it's going to be one of these nights. Then a few times later, Roland goes baseline, gets bumped, reverse layup. Should have been an and one. Official comes running by. I said, that wasn't that a foul? He said, if she would have missed it, I would have called it. That's the kind of night it was.
Oh.
And again, the first quarter was 20-7. So we were making shots, we were hitting shots, Roland was doing her thing with getting rebounds, getting to the rim, getting shots up. Jerome was hitting the threes, and Taylor was just all over the place, and so was Sarah. So we were doing some really good things. again, second quarter, we outscored them. At halftime, it's 37-15. I mean, we're handling things. We're doing all right. They're playing the 2-3 zone. And they're bigger. They're bigger than what people realize. They got some big girls inside with some long length, and they got 2 quick guards, a Pickering girl up top and the Roth girl. She just stays up top there, and they just try to get rebounds, and she runs out. And so third quarter we come out again. We score 20, and then all of a sudden the officials start blowing whistles like crazy. And then we're spending half the time of them shooting free throws and us standing there looking at each other like, what is going on? And so we ended up winning, like I said, 46-66, and in a hard-fought game that we were able to pull away from and come out with a nice win on the road at Delphi.
Leading scores?
Leading scores, so I had 4 girls in double figures that game. Jerome had 10. Taylor had 14. Sarah Kaufman had 10. Roland had 25. Matthew had 5, and Brody had 2. So we had a lot of good things going on there. And like I said, they had a hard time stopping Roland inside with her ability to get to the rim and her strength over their guards. She's a mismatch for anybody that has a guard that when she goes to the board, she's getting offensive rebound, and it's hers, and it's going back up. And when she gets to the floor, she's pretty strong. And then we had a lot of nice passes. She would cut. Taylor was hitting her. So it was good. It was a good game for her and the rest of the girls to have 4 people in double figures, and it was pretty good.
Hey, this offensive and defensive pace you're at, 60.5 points you're averaging offensively. You're only allowing 35.8. That's got to bring a smile to your face.
Yeah, it does, and that's the 35 is something that we take a lot of pride in. That's 0.8 more than what we want to give up, because the goal for the girls is 85 points or less, and that's the goals that they set for themselves as a team. As a team goes, that 35 or less, and that's the mentality that they have to carry, and it's not easy. Some of these teams, I mean, Andrean, that Arcella girl can move and put some shots up, and the Walton girl, who's number 14, she's 6'1" and long and lanky and athletic, and so for us to put that, that as a goal is something that we take a lot of pride in. The girls take a lot of pride in, and keeping it there. We would like that 60 to be up there more. The girls have a goal of 70, so we got to get some things done there offensively to boost that up and to take care of the basketball more and to be more efficient with how we pass and how we knock down some shots and so there's some good things there.
Setting pretty well in the Hoosier Conference right now. Even though Benton Central, just a game behind you, 2-1, you're 2-0, but you beat them, and then you beat Twin Lakes.
Yeah.
So as long as you can keep it rolling, of course, there's no easy game.
No, I mean, we still got to play, not putting anything ahead of South Newton on Friday night, but or Lowell on next Tuesday. But when you look at conference-wise, we still got to play Central Catholic and West Lafayette yet, and CC will be at home, and West Lafayette's going to be at West Lafayette, and that's going to be a fight. That's going to be a dogfight for us. So, we're trying. That's another one of the girls' goals is to be on top of the West in our conference and compete and win a conference championship that these girls want to do.
Well, Lowell could be you got to go there, don't you?
Yeah, we do have to go to Lowell.
They've got some good tall players.
Yes, they got some tall athletes too as well, and
they pass well
and
out of the post.
Yep, and they do some good things there. So again, not looking past South Newton, but that's who we got to face next Tuesday at Lowell to finish out the year. I mean, that's our last game before Christmas, and then we don't come back again until we play North White on the 4th, I believe, is when we play them in January.
Look at that now. Is that the highest ranking Rensselaer's team has ever had?
To my knowledge, yes.
They're ranked second in
the
state.
Second in 3A, in the Class 3A, and then 20th overall in the state.
Hamilton Heights has even lost a game, right?
Yeah, and again, some of that goes with the strength of schedule and who you play and who votes for you, and that's why it's
Do
just
you guys
a lot
pay any attention to that or no?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
The girls and every player does, and I told somebody else that the other day. every player that ever played looks at that's something to be proud of. That's
Sure it
something to
is.
work towards.
Absolutely.
And that's deserving of the girls and their effort and the time and they put into it. It's my job to keep them grounded and humble and hungry and keep working, because that doesn't say a 1 in front of it, that says a 2. And if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. You got to go against the best, and you want to strive for that number 1 position, and that's something that they have to continue to work at.
So you wouldn't mind being top ranked at some point, then?
At some point, if that's what is deemed there, then those girls deserve it. They deserve it, and we have to keep going at it and keep working and until we reach where we want to be at, and that's to win championships and for these girls to continue to work together as a team, because we haven't gotten 13-0 just because of one player.
Right.
It's because they've worked together as a team and as a unit, and they're functioning together, and it's all about each other and not just one person. So, those rankings are great things for those girls, because again, I can remember being a player and looking at those rankings and saying, man, I'd love to be at that position and there. It's taken us 8 years to get there. But it's been well worth all the fight and all the hard work these girls put into it to get that. So,
give me an update on the JV Bombers.
They won the other night. They won last night up there at Andrean, and they're doing really well too. They've won now 2 in a row. So they're playing well. Sometimes there's 6 of them. Sometimes there's 7. It just depends on.
You got 5, right?
As long as we get 5 on the floor, and again, they're playing hard. They're doing some really good things. Tomorrow night they'll travel over to South Newton, and unfortunately they can only play 2 quarters because that's all South Newton has. So they're going to travel over to South Newton and play 2 quarters.
Do those count as wins and losses or no?
Not
2
2 quarters. No.
No.
You just kind of. It's nice that they at least get to play.
Right.
So that's a positive thing to it. I guess if anything positive came out of COVID, it's the fact that we can do that now,
Right.
and instead of just canceling altogether.
Right.
That you give these girls, because these girls go to practice every day. They work hard at it every day. They're in the grind with the varsity players, and when my varsity and my JV, both of the teams, when they get on the line to run, everybody's running.
Right.
It's not just one group, it's everybody. When we go to dinner, when we go do different things, it's one team, and it's not a separation there. So these girls deserve to have a game as much as possible as anything else. And again, we can only control what we can control, and unfortunately tomorrow night's just going to be 2 quarters, but we're going to travel over there, and we're going to give the best 2 quarters we got, and come out of there feeling good about what the girls got accomplished.
Won't take a long time, then will it?
No, well, the longer it depends on how long the boys JV takes, because we play after the boys JV. So hopefully they don't go into overtime or nothing, and we can get that done. So.
All right, Wes, thanks for coming over. Good luck this week, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
All right, thanks, fellas.
All right, Wes Radke from the Rensselaer Center Lady Bombers, back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3KG, thekage.com right after this.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
24/7 Club Fit is a 24-hour keycard accessed fitness center located in downtown Rensselaer. The 8,000 square foot facility offers free weights, weight machines, and a large variety of cardio equipment. We also offer free aerobics classes. 24/7 Club Fit offers 6-month contracts starting as low as $25 per month for students, those 55 years and older, and there are no sign-up or keycard fees. We also participate in the Silver Sneakers program. Call 219-866-0033 or contact us on Facebook. 24/7 Club Fit, where time is no excuse.
Welcome back to the Coach's Cage Show on 3KGthecage.com. Bob Kurtz, Bill Kay, and Scotty Miller with you here. Going to turn our attention now to West Central boys basketball. Coach Brad Odom has stepped behind the microphone. And, Brad, we saw you Friday night in your win against South Newton. Only game we got to talk about this time, huh?
Yeah, that's it. We just played one game last week, and we have most of this week off as we prepare for Washington Township on Friday.
Take us through quarter by quarter, if you would, please.
Got off to I think an aggressive start. It wasn't a great start for us, but I thought our ball pressure did a really good job of forcing them to speed up. Second quarter, we really got into a nice groove, getting out in transition, knocking down a couple of transition jump shots. I got a couple kick-out jump shots as well where Jaden Miller hit a kick-out three. Then our freshman, Brendan Grindstaff, got a couple of looks, knocked down his first one, got on a little rhythm, hit two more in a row, so he had 9 points in that quarter. And then it just kind of seemed like everybody got into an attacking mode at that point. Got to the free throw line, knocked down, it looks like 7 of 8. And our big man, Connor Sleeman, had a couple of nice inside moves for that quarter. So we scored 23 there, had a nice lead, 32-12 at the break. Third quarter took a while for us to get going again, and then we got going in the middle of the quarter, went on a nice run, and then in the fourth quarter we had a chance to get some of the guys at the end of the bench in the game and get them some time, and I thought that was important.
You substituted a couple 5-for-5s, didn't you?
Yeah. At the end of the game, we wanted to make sure that
everybody got in.
All those kids did. I still missed one. I needed to get another kid in who plays a little time JV as well. So somewhere down the road, we want to make sure that we get him in as well.
What's it like securing your first win on the boys' side?
Similar, I think. Yeah. It's a similar style. We really would have liked to got off to maybe a little bit better start against Culver than what we did. We knew Argus and Marquette Catholic were going to be pretty tough. So, but when you get an opportunity to win on the road in the conference, and you can kind of make a statement with your style of play, I thought that was important to get the ball rolling in the right direction. Sometimes when you get off to a slow start, and you lose a few games, maybe things don't seem as much fun as they need to be, and it's important to get a win as soon as possible to get kids buying in and to get them excited about the direction that we're going.
Who played well for you?
We had a lot of kids that played really well. Bryce Nanigas, probably our most consistent kid. He had 16 points.
He got mad a little bit there in the third quarter.
Well, and I'll be honest, I think I said this on the radio after the game too. He was frustrated because they didn't take the ball out. And I thought he was frustrated because he kind of got undercut and he maybe didn't get a call. But they walked the ball in and then outletted it and started to go, and he was trying to get that to stop. And that's where a lot of confusion lied in that play.
That fired him up a little bit, though.
It got me a little fired up, too, because when they blew the whistle, I thought he got tagged. So I was coming down on him pretty hard, and he was like, "No, Coach, that's not what happened at all." So but he had 16 points for us. He had 6 steals. I think he had 7 rebounds. He had 3 or 4 assists. Brendan Grindstaff, like I said, knocked down those 3 threes. He led us with 6 assists. and he had 4 steals. Connor Marlette had 7 points and 9 rebounds from the guard spot, which is impressive. He's a great athlete.
Well, he can sky.
Yeah, he's a really good athlete. Connor Sleeman had 11 points on the inside, and Christian Hughes had 6. Christian's getting more comfortable in his role, and I expect his production to continually increase. So we had a lot of guys that played really well. They played really, really hard. I think we forced 27 turnovers, had, I think, 13, 14 steals.
There was one time late in the game, Coach, we were so impressed with both you guys' squads. It was a loose ball. This game was, it was decided.
Mm-hmm.
And kids from South Union and West Central totally sold out to get that loose ball right in front of us. It's going out of bounds.
It's
that
great
just
hustle. Great hustle.
Great effort, yeah.
So I don't remember the exact play that you're talking about, but I would almost be willing to bet that it was Austin Bolin. Austin loves that kind of stuff. He plays incredibly hard. He likes screening. He likes being physical. If
He's a football player, right?
If there's a ball on the floor, he's going to go find it, yes. So we've been working on that kind of toughness, because if you're going to play fast and you want to play aggressive, you also have to be able to handle, and somebody wants to play really slow and physical. And we thought South Newton would want to try to slow us down and be very aggressive and physical with us because they're built a little differently than we are. You can tell those kids use the weight room a lot over there. They take pride in how strong that they are, and they work hard. And we had to make sure, like I told you before, we wanted to get that floor spread out because if they put us in a phone booth, we're going to have trouble with how physical they were.
4 games in, is the new coach meshing with the new players? How's that going? And the new players learn about the new coach. Is that still ongoing? Or?
Well, I think they always knew kind of where I stood. A lot of their parents and the community kind of knew what we had done on the girls program, and they knew my expectations. I told them from day one I didn't care about where we came from or what people thought of us on the outside. Our job was to put a program together that people were going to take pride in, and we were going to work hard and guarantee that people liked watching us play. The boys knew I was going to be no nonsense, and they've taken that to heart from the very beginning. I think now more than anything we're just getting comfortable. We're going to be able to do a variety of things where in our first couple of games we really couldn't do those things. We were pretty simple. We're adding more and more to what we can do, and that will hopefully increase our offensive ability.
JV Trojans, how are they doing?
2-1. 2-1. We beat. We only got to play 2 quarters against Culver. We beat Argus. Got beat at Marquette, and then the game against South Newton was pretty tight through half, and then late in the third quarter we went on a nice run with some pressure and sealed, I think, about a 20-point win. So those kids are coming along well. They're getting beat up a little bit in practice as they're trying to go against my varsity kids, but they do a really good job of trying to add some pressure and pace and giving us an honest look. And as they continue to do that, they'll continue to grow, get a little faster, get a little tougher, get a little stronger, and they'll be able to start playing at the pace that we want at the varsity level too. So they're coming along real nice.
What's the next schedule look like next week?
So, like I said earlier, we play Washington Township Friday. We have Faith Christian on the road on Monday. And then we are off until December 30th. Where we play
a Monday game. Come on now,
yeah,
Brad.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of playing a conference game on a Monday, but we'll see what we can do about that another day.
Well, you do have to game plan on Saturday then? Is that how you do it?
Well, I think when you get in a situation, even maybe like a Friday, Saturday, you want to have a game plan in place where you're just comfortable with who you are. You can talk about individual tendencies or something the day of, but you really don't want to ever look ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you play a team on Friday that likes to press, you better be ready for the pressure. If you play a team on Saturday that slows down, you maybe address that on a Wednesday or Thursday and give it some time, but you can't focus on anything ahead of what's right in front of you.
Right.
What do you know about Washington Township?
They're athletic. They play fast like we do. Their guards are really aggressive. It looks like that most of their, at least I think 4 of their top 8 are left-handed.
Oh.
So that'll be a change as they like to push the pace up the left side of the floor.
How tough is that on your defenders?
Well, we run a system where everybody should be able to play in any of the three spots, so whether it's the front of our pressure, the middle, or the back, and we rotate those kids through all the time so they're comfortable. So I don't think it should be that big of a deal, but it is a completely different look. You know, if somebody's used to playing on a weak side and now they're strong side, that is something a little bit different. You don't get to flip your whole defense like you would on a football field. You just play. So they'll cause some problems with how many kids they play. They go 9 or 10 deep, and they play incredibly aggressive and hard on a defensive end, getting out in passing lanes. So we've worked hard on trying to adjust to that and how to read those types of things.
Brad, we'll let you go. Appreciate you coming over and talking a little West Central boys basketball. Good luck this week, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday, all right?
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Brad Odom from the West Central Trojans. Back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3KG, after this.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student-athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
Midwest Contractor Services of Rensselaer, with over 15 years of experience, offers both insulation and gutter services for new construction and existing homes in Jasper, Newton, Lake, and Porter counties. You could save money and lower energy bills by adding more insulation to your house. New installation project? Let Midwest Contractor Services offer you a custom insulation package that fits your needs. Leaves in your gutter? Let us give you a price on leaf protection products that really work and are affordable. Call Marty or Mark at Midwest Contractor Services today at 219-866-0755 and get an estimate for your project.
Every day you listen to the news, but how is that news affecting your financial world? Things like your retirement and your kids' college fund. You need someone who can help you work towards your goals. Someone to help you move forward in the times of change. Call Mindy Byer at Morgan Stanley. Mindy has 20 years of experience as a financial advisor, and she's right here in Northwest Indiana. To make an appointment with Mindy Byer, call 765-420-8433. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC.
Anders Water Conditioning in downtown Rensselaer is here for all of your water supplies and softening needs. At Anders, we sell and rent water softeners, water coolers, and have all of your bottled water and salt needs too. Call Chuck to set up your consultation today. 219-866-7430. Anders Water Conditioning, family owned since 1991.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook or by calling 219-275-2441.
Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Arnie's Pizza in Rensselaer. If it's Wednesday, it must be the Coach's Cage Show. And we want to thank the fine folks here at Arnie's Pizza. They just treat us so well, take care of us, the full staff, Beth, all the crew here, and well, what great pizza too.
And we got to tell folks that we'll have one more show next week.
Next week,
and then
yep.
take 2 weeks off after that. So
Hey, joining us now is South Newton Rebels boys coach Ricky Montemayor, and nothing like having a coach come in off a big victory last night.
We got one last night. We
Yeah.
drove over to
The monkeys off the back, right?
System Park. Yeah, we didn't have to wait till February this year, so it's a good thing for us.
I bet that felt good to ride back
It
home.
did, yeah.
You want to talk about that first?
Sure, we can lead with that one.
All right.
So we traveled to System Park last night. It's a little village. It's not even a town in Illinois. Very good tradition of basketball, though. I think in the last 20 years or so, they've made 2 state appearances over there. They're right around. They're under 100 enrollment. I think they're right around 70 to 90, depending on the year. Kids they have.
Where is that, Ricky? Is it north, south?
So it is. If you know where Watsika is,
Yep.
you go through Watsika to like Crescent City, get on 49, take that south, you'll run right into System Park. So we drove there last night. We got there. We got caught by a train in between getting there.
Imagine that.
So we had limited time to warm up. We came out a little slow to start the game. It was 6-4 after the first quarter. We were battling, figuring things out. We had Chase back, so kind of finding that flow with him on the floor again.
That was his first game back?
Yep, he was off the previous 4, and then he played last night. We really took off the second quarter. We outscored them 13-5. So we were up 17-11 at halftime, and I just felt like effort. We weren't really all there. I thought we were making some baskets, making some nice cuts and stuff like that, but I just feel like overall we were kind of sluggish last night. It seemed like, I don't know if part of it was our first road game. We got there late, so we didn't get a lot of time to warm up. It's an old gym, like the walls and the out-of-bounds line, especially on each end, you have like 3 feet, and that is about it, and you're running into pads. So like it's a very small gym, very tight space, and then on the sideline we're on, there's a stage right there, so you're within like 2-3 feet of the stage.
Got to
when you
watch
go
where
off.
you're going.
Right, and then so adjusting to that and just, I don't know, getting a feel of everybody back on the floor together again. Took us a little bit to go, but I felt like we played really well last night for the most part. Third quarter we came out, outscored them 17-15, and then in the fourth quarter we were even at 12 apiece. So they only had, I think they have 12 guys in their program. They played 9 last night. All their key guys were there. They had a pretty decent starting 5, but I think with our ability to sub and play some other kids, we probably outlasted them that way.
So you didn't have a JV game, I assume?
We did.
Oh, did you really?
We played a full JV game and a full varsity game last night. They had 9 kids. Illinois has different rules with their quarters. They're not restricted to 5 per night. So
That's right.
Their 3 best varsity kids played 2 or 3 JV quarters with them, and they beat our JV. But like one of their best players, only a sophomore. Not sure what their other grade, their other really good guard is in, but I thought we contained them pretty well last night. We held their, who I think is their probably better guard overall, to 11, and then the other kid had 13, and we had him in foul trouble early. And then we had some exciting news last night. We had a big charge second quarter. Carlos Arias Lopez took a big charge, and he had the big game Saturday, or was that Friday night you guys were at? Friday night he had the big game. Well, he took a charge, and as he took the charge, he turned and split his head right off the gym floor. So he's got a nice big gash above his eyebrow. He's in stitches now, but it sounds like he'll be back like Tuesday. So nothing bad besides that. He was in good spirits. He was wanting to get back on the floor, so that was nice to see. Kind of got us going a little bit, I think, as we scored 30 over the next 2 quarters there. So.
Wow. You showed us off the air here a little bit. That's kind of a tradition now, right?
We started a charge wall, so we've got in our locker room. We kind of celebrated that yesterday.
That's cool.
It's kind of just to promote us, playing hard all the time, taking charges, sacrificing yourself for us doing well on the court.
And you got a picture of them actually taking the charge,
Yeah,
right?
so we screenshot it on the film, and we give it to the guys, and I date it and put whose name it is on there, because it's kind of hard to tell if you just screenshot the video to see who it is. So guys were celebrating each other last night before we went over to System Park, and I think that kind of set the tone for us going over there last night. And I think they're pretty excited about it, and it's just one of those things. It's kind of just an easy thing to celebrate, I guess. It's just an effort thing, and I always, as coaches, we always promote that. I think it's a very important part of the game for us to be able to take charges, dive on the floor, be the first ones to pick your teammates up. Like, it's just little things like that. It kind of helps make the bigger things happen.
Now, did you take charges when you were a player?
I love taking charges when I was
a
player.
Did you? Yeah.
Yep.
Who played well for you last night?
So leading us in scoring last night, we had Matthew Armstrong with 10. Chase Stillbauer had 9.
First game back of the year,
First
right?
game back. Luke Hoskins had 8. Lucas Boguski had 7. Colton Marks had 6. Dominic Scott had 5. So we had a lot of scoring last night across the board.
Good balance.
So you're getting healthier.
We are. I think it's, if you look at ours too, like, we're not going to have anybody really, unless something, I mean, I don't know, maybe. But I feel like for the most part, we're going to have a lot of, like, scoring similar to this in games that we're competing in. Yeah, we have 4 or 5 kids that can really score the ball with the offense as we run, which is it's good for us because then you can't really key on just 2 guys. Like, you have to guard everybody now. And that's the style of play we promote through everybody, our whole program. I think I know the good teams that I've always seen and played against and been on, it's like you have 2 or 3 guys, usually in double figures, then you have 2 or 3 others right there around 5 to 8 points. So we've got the balance. We just got to get healthy and get to playing together a little more, and I think we'll be all right.
Take us through the other 2 games then.
So Friday night, you guys were there for that one. We hosted West Central. Luke Hoskins didn't practice all week. We had like some weird lineups the last couple weeks with Chase being out. So going to that game, we were down 9-4 after the first quarter. I thought it was pretty competitive. I think we missed a couple easy shots there in the beginning. We were kind of feeling each other out like I figured we would. And then they really took it to us the second quarter. Their freshman, that Grindstaff kid, he hit 3 threes. That kind of was big for them because it was a momentum thing. He was catching and shooting, and he hadn't really done that. But I know playing them in the scrimmage, watching them in the JV portion of that scrimmage, I'm like, he's just taking control of the court. I mean, this he's gonna be pretty good. I assume he's gonna be getting more varsity minutes for them going forward. I thought he was one of their better guards on the floor. Pretty composed kid. He didn't play like a freshman. And like I said, I think he really lit a spark for them that second quarter. It put us down in a hole. We were down 32-12 at half. So we were really trying to find something to get us going. We played pretty even the third quarter, 10-7. I think we were outscored. And then in the last quarter, I don't have the numbers in front of me, we outscored them 24-15 in the fourth. So we really battled back, and a lot of that was driven by 3 sophomores of ours, Matthew Armstrong, Colton Marks, and Owen Firkins. So those 3 really.
Those are all sophomores?
All sophomores.
Holy smokes.
Yep. So like I get mad at them sometimes, and like they get it, but like sometimes I forget they're only sophomores.
Right.
And like that's our core right now. I feel like we have a couple good seniors, a couple in the junior class that are good, but our core of our team is sophomores right now. So like the future's pretty bright if these guys stick together, keep improving, keep getting better. I think like sky's the limit for this group really.
I thought Firkins, his defense was.
He's long, super long. Same with Colton. Like he said, he didn't play last year, but they're just both super long and they anticipate the ball well.
Good energy from both teams.
Very good energy. And they really sparked that JV group when they get that quarter of playing time with them now too. So I think going forward, like those 2, at least the last couple of games, they've really gave the varsity group a spark, and I think it's helped us play a little harder and be more competitive in those games. So out of that 24 points, I'm looking at it right now, 22 of those were scored by our sophomore group.
Wow.
So pretty good for us going forward.
As big of a hole as they got you in, that game was almost kind of hanging in the balance a little bit there.
Yeah, as I say, we lost 57-43.
Just couldn't get over the hump when you got it.
No. You can't go down 20 at half and expect to be super competitive. But I think, if we have Chase on the floor, I don't know what the swing would be, but it's definitely a more competitive game. He just runs the offense so well for us and calms everybody down, makes sure everybody is in their positions, and it's kind of hard to do that sometimes from the sideline. You're yelling at your younger kids to get in spots and learn things and understand plays, and sometimes they just don't yet. So having a senior leader on the floor that's vocal and has the respect of everybody else definitely helps, and we're glad he's back. Like I said last night, kind of flipped for us.
So who was the leading scorer?
So that game against West Central, Matthew Armstrong had 17, Colton Marks had 8, and then Owen Firkins had 7. So the 3 sophomores.
Okay.
And then the next night, we played Watsika. Another really close game. We outscored them 10-8 in the first quarter. We were playing pretty well. It was the same starting lineup as the night before. Luke Hoskins was playing sparingly. He hadn't practiced all week. The second quarter, we outscored 21-14. Kind of the same thing. They had one kid really just go off for 3 threes, and that kind of set the tone for them. They were quick too. It seemed like back to back to back. So we dug ourselves a hole. They outscored us 10-6 in the third, and then we outscored them 14-10 in the fourth. So it seems like our trend is we're getting better as the game goes on, but sometimes we dig ourselves too big of a hole in the beginning to kind of
was the final
catch up. We lost 49-44. Leading scorers in that one: Carlos Arias Lopez had 12, Colton Marks had 10, Matthew Armstrong had 8, and we had a couple of 4. So Carlos, that was his kind of like breaking out game.
Mm-hmm.
And then last night he goes and splits his eyebrow open trying to take that charge to get on the wall, you know.
Did he play then after that or no?
No, it happened in the second quarter, and we had to get him out, and he went to the emergency room last night, and he got stitches. But no, I've liked what we've seen so far from the guys. Our sophomore class is, like I said, really got us going, and now that Chase is back, Luke is starting to get pretty healthy. And, you know, the future's bright, I think.
What's up next for the Rebels?
We've got 3 games, or until I see you guys again. We've got Rensselaer this Friday at Rensselaer. That's a girls-boys doubleheader. We actually play our JV games tomorrow night at South Newton, and then Friday our varsities will go over there and play. They started that last year, the year before, I think, where they split the JV and varsity nights, and it's not the same night.
Can't afford to. I'm sorry, Bob. Can't afford to get in a hole against the Bombers like down there. Home court.
They're long, athletic, and they're, you know, they haven't shown it score-wise yet, but they can score. They've got some kids that can really do some things, and you know, it's always a hard game for us. I coached Rensselaer 5-6 years ago. It's a culture thing. Those kids play hard. They play basketball year-round. Like I said, I've known a lot of those kids since they were pretty little, and you know, seeing them now as high schoolers is kind of cool. But no, they're gonna get things rolling. I think they're starting off a little slow, but they did lose a lot from last year's team. So I think it's for them. It's more so probably just finding out who's gonna be who on the team. You know, they lost 3 or 4 kids that were starters for 2 or 3 years. So that's always tough to fill.
Chapman and Wheatrick alone.
I was gonna say it's always tough to fill. So like I think they'll get there. They just got to figure some things out, and they'll be fine. But
Saturday, who you play?
Saturday we're at Frontier, so that's another conference game. I was just talking to Trent back here, and I didn't realize how many kids he had out sick and stuff this past week. So
they slowed it down, he said.
That's what he said, and you got to do what you got to do to win. But I expect them to come out ready to go. They got a tough game Friday night too, so we each come off tough games, and we'll see each other Saturday. But just like every Midwest Conference game, I think it's going to be physical, and it's going to be a little chippy, and we're going to feel each other out for a little bit. But I expect to be pretty competitive. Just like he was talking, I think conference in general, I think most games will be pretty close, pretty competitive with each other. So
is that at your place? Or?
That's at Frontier.
At Frontier.
Yeah, we had our first 5 games at home, and then we're 4 games on the road, and then we kind of go back and forth for a little bit, and then that last half of the schedule is not great. We're 6 out of 7 on the road. So.
And you play next Tuesday, is that what you said?
Next Tuesday, yeah, next Wednesday, sorry. So I won't be here at all next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
We play down at North Vermilion. So usually, I think last year was on a Tuesday, but they've coordinated it to where like it's on our last day of school.
Oh, I see.
So that way we're not having to play on a finals night and then come
see.
back.
Oh.
So we go down there. North Vermilion, they're 3-3, I think, last I saw. Pretty good guard group. They've got a couple big guys inside. We had a competitive game with them last year, and I kind of expect the same going down there. But that drive's it's long. There's nothing on the way there. But I expect us to be competitive as long as we're healthy, as long as our guys are really playing hard and buying into that sort of thing. And I think we are. So good things going ahead. We got 3 games going until break, and then we'll be back after break playing a couple games that first weekend. So
will we then. So we're off the 27th, and then first Wednesday in January, so Ricky won't see you again till like January the 10th or something.
Yeah. Okay.
So have a good holiday season.
You guys too.
We'll see you next year.
Thank you.
All right. Ricky Monemeyer has been our guest. Back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3kgthecage.com after this.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals, increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodeman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodeman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
Rolling through a Wednesday night here at Arnie's Pizza in Rensselaer, right across from St. Joseph's College. Bob Kurtz, Bill Kay, and Scotty Miller with you here. Bill Shepard has stepped behind the microphone now from the Kankakee Valley Cougars. Billy, good to see you. How you doing?
Pretty good, Bob. How are you doing?
Doing really well. 2 games to talk about. Let's go back to last week's contest first.
Yeah, we had a Thursday night home game against Morgan Township. They came in undefeated and number 3 in Class 1A. We started off pretty slow again. Well, I don't know if we started off slow. Morgan just started off really hot. And we actually were down about 16 points halfway through the second quarter. We were down 31-15, like I said, with about 3 minutes left in the first half, and finished the first half on a 10-2 run. Which
How
really,
important was that?
Very important to get it from 16 down to 8 at half. Just, obviously got a little bit of momentum going in the locker room. Very important to cut into that lead a little bit and regain some of that momentum on our home court. And then the second half, it was a second half of runs. I mean, we cut to 3, they go back to 9. We cut to 4, but they go back to 8. I mean, they had an answer for every run that we had. And then but to our credit, we didn't quit. We didn't give up. We kept chipping away and actually took the lead for the first time on a tip-in by Brady Sampson with about, maybe a minute and a half left or something like that.
Wow.
And then we fouled. Somehow we fouled. I can't remember how we fouled, but we had a foul with just under a minute left, and they hit 1 or 2 free throws, and then basically it was a situation where they had the ball with about 30 seconds left, and we have a junior guard, Bobby Lalonde, snuck up on a guard at half court and stole it, and we called timeout with about 10 seconds left, set up a play, didn't run it right, and which kind of figured that, but didn't run things correctly, but wound up being pretty good at the end. Brady Sampson shot about a 12-foot jumper with about 4 seconds left, missed it, got his own rebound and put it in at the buzzer. So kids were pretty excited about that, obviously. Getting the last second win over a ranked team at home is pretty good. So, especially Morgan Township. Morgan Township, even though they're a small school, they're pretty talented, and they play to their strengths really well. I mean, they know what they're good at, and that's what they do. So, you're not just they're not gonna give you the game.
Right.
So you got to go take it from it. So we were pretty happy with that win right there. But
Who played well for you?
Cam Webster led us with 19 points that game, and we had Brady Sampson had a huge second half in particular, but wound up with 15. He was our second leading scorer. And our third person double figures was a junior guard by the name of Tristan Smith. First time he was in double figures as a varsity player. Came out of a shooting slump a little bit, had 3 threes for us, and a couple of big ones in the second half to help us continue on, build a couple of our runs. So, just overall exciting game, a good win for us to get.
All right, and then the weekend?
Yeah, we go to Valparaiso on Saturday night. Obviously, Valparaiso is always tough, and they just play good basketball and smart basketball, and they're just they have a tradition up there, and they have high expectations for what they do, our talent level for the first time in a long time, I think our talent level is right with Valpo. I mean, we're right there. We have the skill that they have. They just have better kids when it comes to staying in the moment. Right now than we do. We lose our focus sometimes mentally, and Valpo is a team where if you do that, they're going to make you pay, and they made us pay. We were up by 2 halfway through the second quarter, and we make a couple poor decisions, lose our focus on defense, and then make a couple poor offensive decisions that we didn't make earlier in the game. And, all of a sudden it's a 9-point Valpo lead at halftime. I mean, it's just one of those things where you have to stay the course against teams like that, and you have to stay in the moment, mentally stay into it. Like when you make a basket, you need to hurry up and switch from offense to defense immediately, and you got to go match up, or else if you don't switch over, they're gonna be laying it in on you. And we just have all those types of things happen to us. We probably gave up 7 threes in transition. It's just like, why are you not guarding him? It's not. Doesn't click that fast sometimes for us, and when you lose by 20 points and you're giving up 7 threes in transition, I mean you can just point right there as one of the issues, But offensively we had 59 points. We played really well. I told the kids when we watched film on Monday of the Valpo game, but when we play big schools or big games, quote unquote, I have a few checklist things for offense that I want, and we met all of them. It's just. We played fine. It's just when you can't maintain focus defensively for any longer than 15 seconds. Sometimes good teams are going to make you pay, and they got players too, and they made us pay, and we just against a team like that, it's very hard to come back.
So you're telling me a lot of basketball, the mental part of it too.
Oh yeah. Even tonight in practice, we're doing a drill for 45 seconds on defense, and we'll have a handful of players. Man, they do things really, really, really well for 25 seconds. Then boom, they relax. And I don't know, it's not relaxing physically. They just relax mentally,
right?
And then they don't recognize something. Well, I mean, there's like 18 different things going on at once on a basketball court, and you're gonna have to be able to keep up.
And how often is it 4 guys are doing something right, one guy isn't?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and honestly, that shows up. That hurts you more defensively than offensively, because defense is a lot of teams. No matter what you're playing defensively, it's more of a team deal. So like if one person messes up defensively, if you got a good team, they're going to find that. Where offensively, if one person messes up, one person might still have the skill to overcome that and make a basket.
Sure.
But defensively, if somebody messes up, I mean, it just creates a big hole. And like I said, it's just a focus thing for us. It's really all it is. There's no skill deficiencies between us and Valpo. It's just, can you mentally stay engaged for as long as you guys stay engaged every possession? And and we just got to learn from it. It's just we got to grow from it, and that's one thing that we're stressing this week.
Is there anything you could practice that out of them, or is it just something that they've got to do on their own?
Just something that eventually they got to do on their own. I mean, we ran 48 down and back tonight, so I don't know if that'll help. I'm not. That's just something that eventually they have to deem as important. And that's and it's just something that they have to take it upon themselves eventually. To have that thought that, like I said, it's just important to do. I mean, they'll tell you right now they were as good as Valpo skill wise, and I'll tell you right now I agree with that. But it's just can you maintain your focus and your high level of mental preparation. One of the things that we were kind of harping about was like in Morgan Township game, we go into Morgan and it's like we got to hold this kid to under so and so. Well, he gets 20. Valparaiso has a really good guard by the name of Jack Smiley. We got to hold him under this. Well, he gets 30. That's just mental focus of this is what you have to do. Don't lose track of this guy. Make his job tough, and we are not there yet. Mentally, physically, we're fine. We're not quite there yet mentally.
Anybody? Go ahead.
Does your team have the leadership that's showing up with communication on the floor, stuff like that?
I think we have good leadership. I do think we can communicate more on the court, especially on the defensive end. I think sometimes we assume, and on the defensive end you can't assume. I mean, you have to. If you're going to pick this guy up, you got to say I got this guy, and then that guy knows to not go there. And it's just. So I think we can do a better job of that. I think that would make us a little quicker on the defensive end, just because we know something's covered up, so we're not late getting somewhere else. So.
Anybody play well for you the other night?
Yeah, actually, we had 3 guys in double figures again. So, like I said, all my check boxes on offense were all met. Bobby Lalonde, our junior guard, he had 28 up there. Valpo. He had 20 at halftime. I mean, he was just, we were running our stuff, and he was getting the stuff out of our offense and finding the open lanes and the creases and the jumpers and stuff, and it was beautiful to watch, but then we play defense, But anyway, he had 28, and
that's got to be a career high, right?
Oh yeah,
Bobby? Yep.
yeah. And then Cam Webster had 12, and Brady Sampson had 11, and so there, we had 3 guys in double figures again. But we had 59 points. We could have probably easily had 63, 65, which should win you a lot of ball games,
yeah.
But when you're giving up 79 and just not being focused, on offense to defense, or here's your assignment on defense. It's unfortunate that Bobby had such a good game, and we can't really celebrate it just because of the way that we were on the other end.
Kind of got a light schedule here in December, and then you're top heavy in January, February, right?
Oh yeah. We only have one more game before Christmas. We go to Andrea. We open up conference play in Andrea on Friday night. Always a tough place to go play. A small gym, and for boys basketball games, they usually get the students out there, and they're pretty obnoxious, and that's fine. That's the way it should be. But hopefully we feed off that and play well, and we would love to start 1-0 in the conference. That's hugely important, especially when your second conference game is Munster just after the first of the year. So hopefully we can go up to Andrea and get ourselves a big win, and then we have a holiday tournament. Up in Highland, starting on the 27th, we play 2 games on the 27th and 1 game on the 28th. So we're a little bit busy in that week, but it's kind of we got 1 game before the 27th, so we kind of got only 1 more game in the next 2 weeks, and we just kind of a good time for us to get better at some things.
Is that an 8-team tournament in Highland?
Yep, that's an 8-team tournament. We play 2 games on the 27th. We open with Griffith, and then depending on how we do, we'll play either it's Lafayette, Jeff, or Andrea again. And then the other side of the bracket has Morgan Township, Highland, Whiting, and Calumet. So it's gonna be a fun time. We're gonna be challenged again, which is why that's why you get in these holiday tournaments, you get challenged a little bit, and see where your kids are at. So and then obviously, like you said, we get a little top heavy in January because we got 3 double weekends in January. So it's bang 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 bang, and then February doesn't slow down either. So and that's fine. Let's play. It's time to start playing some games, I think.
JV Cougs, how are they doing now?
JV Cougs are 2-3 and should be 5-0.
Okay.
They have not. The most points they've given up in regulation in any one game this year is 33.
And they've lost 3 times.
Have lost 3 times. Just they have a hard time putting the ball in the. I think we talked about this. They have a hard time putting the ball in the basket. They go up to Valpo Saturday and lose 33-30.
Wow.
They're right there. They were ahead the whole game until the very end. And lost 33-30, which for future years with Valpo that bodes well, But still, it's just like man. They are defensively. They're a little different than my team. Defensively, they got her. they got.
You need to combine those somehow.
yeah. Defensively, man, they got it. No problem. They got it figured out. But they're just challenged offensively right now, and sometimes they get rushed a little bit, But once again, their defense makes up for it. Keeps them in a lot of ball games. So kudos to them. It's just I know that they're disappointed that they're 2-3, and the 2 games they won by like 30 points apiece, and the 3 games they lost, I think they lost by combined like 8 points. It's like that's what I was joking with the KB coach. You're 2-3, and your plus minus point differential is probably like plus 50. It's ridiculous. But yes, I mean they're doing fine. They just gotta keep up on the defense and get a little better on the offensive end and finish some games. So I mean, the record doesn't look great, but man, they're playing way better than the 2-3 team is. That's for sure.
Well, you say you got class next Wednesday night, so you won't be here, and then we're off the next 2 weeks. So
yeah, I do my day job at night next week.
Okay, well, that's all right.
Well, I teach dual credit pre-calculus class through Indiana University, and I give my students the option of either taking it during a normal school day time, their final exam, or if they want a true college feel, they can come in one night during the week, and it's Wednesday night next week. They can come in one night during the week from 6 to 8 and take it. And I have a lot of students that take advantage of that because they do get that true college feel doing it. So,
sure.
So they look forward to it, and I practice till 5:30 anyway, so I'm right there. I'll just come over after practice and give a test. What else is there to do?
That's right. Well, sad we'll meet with you next week, but I understand, and then we're off next 2 weeks, so have a good holiday. We'll see you in January, all right?
Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you bright and early in 2024.
All right. Bill Shepard.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
From the KB Cougars, back with more of the Coach's Cage after this.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook or by calling 219-275-2441.
Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
24/7 Club Fit is a 24-hour keycard accessed fitness center located in downtown Rensselaer. The 8,000 square foot facility offers free weights, weight machines, and a large variety of cardio equipment. We also offer free aerobics classes. 24/7 Club Fit offers 6-month contracts starting as low as $25 per month for students, those 55 years and older, and there are no sign-up or keycard fees. We also participate in the Silver Sneakers program. Call 219-866-0033 or contact us on Facebook. 24/7 Club Fit, where time is no excuse.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Welcome back to Arnie's Pizzeria here in Rensselaer, and Coach's Cage Show, Wednesday nights. Joining us now is Chris York from the North Newton Lady Spartans. And Coach, you've had some tough results here in the last winnable games that slipped away from the Spartans. It seems like you're so close, and yet just can't get it over the hump in the key moments.
Yeah, that's really frustrating. Last night was kind of a long bus ride home. There have been a couple of those. I mean, last Thursday you covered the game. That wasn't a long bus ride home, but boy, it was a long drive back to Cedar Lake. You know, that kind of a game that is, you know, a rivalry and, you know, expectations and what it winds up being. It just, you know, it wasn't good. So yeah, we've had some of those games.
You think your girls underestimated South Newton, looking at their, you know, winless record coming in?
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. But they also, the other, you know, South Newton came in really hungry. So, you know, you couple what we think we should have done or what we should have been able to do, and then what they came in and actually did, you know, yeah, that's a problem. It wasn't a good mix.
Because you look at these two games, the two winnable games, and apply that, you know, 5 and 7 looks a lot better than 3 and 9. Right?
Yeah, there's no doubt. And we've talked about that, and I've thought about that a lot. But we've got to do it on the floor. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Right. All right, well, you got 3 games to talk about. I'll let you take it.
I got one question here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one? Only one?
Does that sting the girls as much as it stings you? Because I could tell you're, you know, that bugs you big time.
Yeah, it bugs me a lot. But I don't know. I don't really know that. I don't know that it gets them quite as much. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, I don't really know.
It always seems to me like the coaches take it harder than and not just you. I mean, every coach does that. So
yeah, I mean, I internalize all of it. So, but there were some that were really kind of upset. But you know, can I take a timeout?
Timeout? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
We'll take a timeout
yes,
and come back with more right after this.
Anders Water Conditioning in downtown Rensselaer is here for all of your water supplies and softening needs. At Anders, we sell and rent water softeners, water coolers, and have all of your bottled water and salt needs too. Call Chuck to set up your consultation today. 219-866-7430. Anders Water Conditioning, family owned since 1991.
After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student-athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
Every day you listen to the news, but how is that news affecting your financial world? Things like your retirement and your kids' college fund. You need someone who can help you work towards your goals. Someone to help you move forward in the times of change. Call Mindy Byer at Morgan Stanley. Mindy has 20 years of experience as a financial advisor, and she's right here in Northwest Indiana. To make an appointment with Mindy Byer, call 765-420-8433. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC.
Reinforcements Designs is a full-service graphic design, screen printing, and sign shop. They offer logo designs, screen printing, banners, signs, vehicle lettering and graphics, airbrushing, vinyl letterings, digital printed graphics, freehand engraving, and more. 37 years of design and graphics, Reem Bontrager will help you come up with a customized project of your ideal or plan. Just ask. Give Reinforcements Design a call at 219-866-8626 for your next graphic design project.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Meet you at our Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza, and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Welcome back to Coach's Cage Show, and we'll continue now with Chris York of the North Newton Spartans. And Chris, your squad in the midst of a frustrating time right now, but I'm sure there's light at the end of the tunnel. You guys are awfully close. We were talking off the air how those 2 wins from last week would have changed, to being just 5-7 instead of 3-9, and that's a whole different aspect of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, we would have been equal to our amount of wins last year with a chance to improve. And you look at the schedule at the beginning of the season, and you try to pick out games that you think are possible and all that kind of stuff. And we've already got one in the can that was more than just a possible, and something that you were looking forward to, and it didn't happen. So now we just have to kind of pick up the pieces and go from there. It doesn't do a lot of good, even though I'm going to do it. It doesn't do a lot of good to dwell on it and think about all the things that could have been, because they weren't. And now we just have to keep playing, because we've got too much of the season left to just give in. So, on Thursday when you guys were there, coming out and scoring the first 6 points, I mean, boom, 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 right away. Addie Standish wasn't at the game in the game at the time. Then she came in and things changed. But whether it was offense or defense, just everything didn't go right on Thursday. South Newton came in averaging about 15 points a game, and they scored 41. And we lost by 13. You get to a point in the game, or we got to a point in the game, we were down by 18 points in that game. And I kind of got fed up at one point, and I pulled everybody. And I put a new 5 in and put them back in. And I think we scored a couple baskets in the fourth quarter. But it never really looked like we were making much of a move, because we scored a couple baskets, and then we gave up a couple baskets. And then I know that with about, 150 left to go or something, they had just hit back-to-back threes or something like that. And they're not a team that hits a lot of threes. You said they were 5 out of 10.
Right.
So sometimes that happens, right? We weren't in the right space for defense, and they were hitting shots. And, again, that combination led to us losing by 13. So it gave them their first win of the year. That was for us probably a winnable game in the conference. So now, we have to kind of rebound from that. In that game, McKenna had 10 points, not a great shooting night. She had 10 points, and she had 8 rebounds. The stats in this game are just kind of one of those things. They're almost like, almost feel empty. But Cheyenne Cahill had 9 points, also not a very good shooting night. That was pretty much the theme of the whole thing. She had 6 rebounds. Summer Wynn had 4 points. She had 9 rebounds. June Busboom had 3 assists. We had Dakota Dyer had 3 steals. Juliana Galvin had 3 points. But just there wasn't a lot that really went all that well that game, and it was quite a blow, honestly.
Saturday,
Faith Christian. This is going to sound ridiculous, but I thought we played pretty well against them. We had a couple of defensive stands where it took them a long time to get a shot off, and these guys, they can really pass the ball.
Right.
It's not these little lollipop passes that we're used to from everybody else. They make really sharp passes and quick passes, and we were down the first quarter 15-9. At halftime, it was 37-17, and that 20 points didn't feel like 20 points because we had done some things. And And we've been leaving a lot of points on the table, a lot of good shots that just aren't going in. In the second half, we only scored 4 points. In the second half, it was we shot, they sprinted, they scored. In the first half, those 37 points, 14 of them came directly off of turnovers. Like it was the breakout kind of turnover. So 14 of those 37 points. Sprinkle that in with a couple of makes, and it would be a closer game. But I didn't think we played that badly against Faith. They're just that good a team. So, you come out of that game with a little bit of confidence, and you tell the girls the rest of the teams this year aren't going to be like them. Tri-County is going to be very good, and Rensselaer is going to be very good. But for the most part, a lot of the teams we've got coming up are not going to be like Faith. So you think then that coming into the Boone Grove game, we would have some confidence. Boone Grove coming in at 1-12, and last week when they hadn't won a game yet, I told you guys that I wasn't sure what to think about that game because of what happened last year. So, last night we go to Boone Grove. I didn't give any stats for that last game. Cheyenne Cahill had 7. McKenna Schliemann had 5, and Summer Wynn had 4. Paige Culbreth hit a 3. Juliana Galvin had 2. And as far as some of the other stats, there really weren't a lot to say. We just didn't have a lot. It looks like McKenna had 3 blocks. June Busboom had 2 assists, as did Dakota Dyer. And McKenna also had 2 steals. But going back to the Boone Grove game, we were up 10-9. We didn't score for a long time, and we've had trouble scoring. We were up 10-9 at the end of the first quarter. We were up 13-12 at the end of the half, and we had shot a few outside shots. We had some people, put up some threes and just some quick outside shots. And in the locker room, I said, "Look, we're getting the ball inside. We're getting them in trouble. Let's just keep doing that." So we did exactly that, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 missed layups in the third quarter, just point-blank layups, and we're down 28-18 at the end of the third quarter, just because we had missed shots. And of course we had some turnovers too, but it was mostly missed shots. If we could have those back, we were 8 out of 12 from the free throw line. We got down as many as 12. I think with 5 or 4 minutes to go, we got it all the way back down to 2, 37-35. We had somewhere around 14 seconds or whatever. I was getting ready to call a timeout and thought, okay, we'll get the ball inbounds. We'll get it to half court. We'll call timeout. We turned it over. So they then scored again, and we lose 39-35. So it's another one of those games where, like you said, we believe it was a should have, and it wasn't. So that's kind of where we've been, and we've got DeMont Christian tomorrow night, and we've seen them on tape, and they don't look the same as what they did last year.
They just lost to Tri-County Monday.
They lost to Tri-County. They lost to Wheeler. We watched that game. They beat Boone Grove by 10, so we watched that game. And then we have Covington on Saturday before starting the tournament on Monday night at Winnemac, who just beat Winnemac beat DeMott by 30. And I talked to the coach, and that was one of those games where Winnemac hit everything and DeMott just didn't hit much. So we've got our work cut out for us, and we told the girls, if we play the way we did that last Thursday night, it's going to be a real rough rest of the season. It's going to be hard to keep everybody together if we play like that. And we didn't. We played better on Saturday. And we had our moments last night. We just had that lull where we couldn't score. And we had some defensive breakdowns. They had a girl hit 16 points, and probably 5 of those shots were completely uncontested jumpers, and we're not supposed to allow that. So, that's where we've been this week.
Chris, are your girls, you think, on a whole, maybe looking to McKenna to bail them out on offense too much? I mean, I know she's a weapon, definitely a weapon down there, but when you try to force it into her almost every time, I thought one play that I thought wow, why don't they do that more often? I think it was Cahill went down to the post, and she was on the other side from McKenna, and they hit her with a nice pass. This was the South Newton game. She turned around, put it in just like that. And I said, boy, that's what they need more of.
We have some things that look like that every once in a while, and that's awesome. I mean, I didn't get to last night's points, but in the Griffith game and in last night's game, the other team didn't have anybody to really deal with McKenna, so we just kept feeding it in there. Other people got shots, but McKenna scored 25 last night.
Did she really?
But it was another one of those where she could have had so many more, because she just misses and she runs back and she's like, I don't know how I missed that. Cheyenne Cahill had 5, Summer Wynn had 2, and June Busboom had. Summer Wynn had 3 and June Busboom had 2. Rebounding wise, Summer had 14. She had a bunch, and this is all unofficial.
She's a darn good rebounder.
She is, and she missed. She was really angry about last night's game because she missed some of those point blank shots, putbacks, and when you put all those together, it makes a difference. June Busboom had 5 steals. So did McKenna. McKenna did a pretty good job defensively at the end when we pressed, and we got a couple steals from her. And Cheyenne Cahill had 5 assists. So even when we're having trouble scoring, the offense is working and we're getting assists. It's not, we don't have the kind of team that's going to create off the dribble and stuff. So we have a lot of assists when things are going well. But we do have other people that are contributing. We've got some times where McKenna catches and sees Summer, or Summer sees McKenna, or somebody out on a wing sees McKenna open on the block, cross court kind of. But then sometimes those passes don't make it through. So we're having some of the right ideas, just not the right execution in a lot of cases. We muscle up on passes. We're too weak on passes. We don't step to the ball sometimes. These are all things that lead to turnovers and not a chance for us to score.
Pretty big game tomorrow night, then, I'd say.
I'd say so. I mean, just in looking good, I think that if we kind of play the way we did for most of the game against Boone Grove, I think that we'll have a chance to look pretty good tomorrow night. I really do. And I think on Saturday, I think we've got a pretty good chance as well, just based on some of the scores I've seen and not knowing a lot about some of those border schools. But, maybe that'll be a good thing for us. And I know Winnema's tough.
Explain the tournament. What's that all about?
Well, in this tournament, there's 8 teams, and I know that we play Winnemac. The first round is at somebody's venue. And
so
we play
at 4 sites, different
Yes,
sites.
4 different sites. So we'll play Winnemac on Monday night. I think if we were to win, we play on Wednesday at Delphi. If we lose, we play on Friday at Delphi. And then on Saturday, the 5th and 7th place games are at Delphi Elementary. The 1st and 3rd place games are at Delphi High School. And those games will be at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
So you may not be here next week.
It's possible, yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I would like to not be here.
Yeah,
put it that way.
Well, thanks.
If I'm right about Wednesday being the winner game, that would be fantastic, because Winnema's a good team, and if we beat them, we've played very well.
I guess we'll keep in touch then after Monday's game.
We've been keeping in touch after some of my games, and I open up my phone and I'm like, yeah, I do one of those. But one of these days you're going to send me a text and it's going to be like, hey, way to go. That was the way it's supposed to be.
I will.
So that's what we're looking forward to. Yes, I do. It's not going to be all just bad ones.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, Chris York from the North Newton Lady Spartans. Back to wrap things up with Chad Pulver from Rensselaer Central Boys team right after this.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals, increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
24/7 Club Fit is a 24-hour keycard accessed fitness center located in downtown Rensselaer. The 8,000 square foot facility offers free weights, weight machines, and a large variety of cardio equipment. We also offer free aerobics classes. 24/7 Club Fit offers 6-month contracts starting as low as $25 per month for students, those 55 years and older, and there are no sign-up or keycard fees. We also participate in the Silver Sneakers program. Call 219-866-0033 or contact us on Facebook. 24/7 Club Fit, where time is no excuse.
Welcome back to Arnie's Pizzeria here in Rensselaer. Again, thanks to all the fine folks here at Arnie's. Come down and join us sometime on a Wednesday for some great pizza and some good high school sports. Chatting with our area basketball coaches joining us now. Always our usual cleanup man, Chad Pulver, coach of the Rensselaer Bombers boys team. And Coach, how many games do we have to talk about tonight?
Let's
3,
see,
right?
since
3?
last Wednesday, so I guess we had
Friday, Saturday, Tuesday.
Yeah, so we had
he's
North
gonna,
White,
he's gonna try and
Twin Lakes, and
forget
Hanover
about some of
Central.
those.
Yeah, forget about a lot of those.
Kicking into high gear, the schedule is, man.
Yeah, so we have a game coming Friday as well. So then after that we have about 12 days off, and so we get over this last little hump here, and then we have some time to reconfigure things and move some pieces around and get ourselves situated going into the new year. And so we do have a game over the break, which I think is good for us. We had a few years where we went almost 3 weeks with no competition.
It's like starting over.
Yeah, and then it's just beating up on each other, and they're frustrated and angry. And so to have a team in the middle of that break is really important for us. And so we're going up to Broom Grove this year, and we'll be able to play them up there. And then once we return in the new year, it'll be Lafayette Central Catholic. So it'll be our second Hoosier Conference game. So that's all of the Hoosier Conference games are important simply because you only get one shot at them.
Right.
And so you have to perform very well in order to have even a whiff of something positive coming out of that exchange in the conference. So
let's talk about North White.
North White, we were able to show up and get some things done. I think our defensive pressure put North White in a bad spot, and so we were able to capitalize, get out, run a little bit. Shots fell pretty well for us that night, and so we had 3 guys in double figures. And defensively, we're forcing them into some pretty tough spots, and so we were able to continue that out and control the floor pretty well. And so we really set out to do a couple of things that night, and one was to get some assists. We had a number of nights where we have turnover frenzy, and that has been our bugaboo. We tend to turn the ball over. I think we see something, and rather than making sure that we're making the correct play at the correct time, we're anticipating the wrong thing happening sometimes. And so that has been difficult for us to get over. And so, Twin Lakes was on the 9th, which was Saturday night, and then Hanover Central was last night. And both of those evenings were turnover laced, and that made it very difficult. We were giving the ball away too many times. And so as it is right now, if you take all 8 of our games, we're averaging over 17 turnovers a game. And that's very, very difficult to come back and get a win if you're giving the ball away.
You're not used to that with the guard play you've had the last few years.
No, it's been very difficult to get over because we're trying to take care of the ball at the same time. The season doesn't stop. You keep getting games, and so last night was one of those examples where we were in the game. I think we were up by 1 after the first and down by 5 after the second. And to finish the second quarter, we had 10 possessions. And so in those 10 possessions, 7 were turnovers.
Ooh.
And it just is. And watching it on film today and trying to break it down, I can see what the guys are trying to do. We're just not connecting. And I think that's the part where it's difficult for them. They still were playing hard. We had a chance still. I mean, as poorly as we were playing, we were only 10 points down. And so then you get to the end of the game where it kind of extends a little bit. But I think we got clipped by 14 points in the end. But
that's why your point total has been so low, because of the turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, we're only shooting 28 shots a game. And so it's very difficult to win.
That's not enough.
That's not much at all.
Well, yes, I'm well aware it's not enough. That is quite clear. We're not getting enough up. So we have a number of things but we're also seeing where the trends are. And I think that's what has become important for us, is that we're being very deliberate with how we're talking about it. We're being very deliberate with how we're trying to take care of it. And so this isn't walking into every meeting like, what do you think's happening? What's going on? Like, we're instructing, and we're trying to drill things, and we're trying to work on things. We're trying to curb some of the bad habits that maybe have been there, as well as maybe the misreads that have been happening. And I think that the hope is that we're able to turn this corner. If we can turn the corner, then I think we have enough time to be able to grow throughout the rest of the season and put ourselves there.
Does that change your style of play when you turn over so much? Do you adjust?
Well, it turns into a lot of defense. Is what it does. I think for us, what has really become important is that we have to start cutting and moving with some continuity. And I think that the guys are still trying to figure out where each other are moving. I think they're still trying to figure out how they're moving in the offense. And then because of that feeling of being tentative, they are moving half speed rather than cutting hard and allowing themselves to get a separation from the defense. The defense can shuffle next to them, and it makes it very difficult, because now someone like Jack Chapman's dribbling the ball out top, waiting for something to happen back and forth, and other guys are just they're wanting to get open, they're trying to make the move, but we're not separating correctly. And so that's where our learning points are. Some of it's technique, but other times it's just timing, it's just understanding, it's sometimes effort. So we're still working.
You know what Bob mentioned, your guard play, and it's just when you get down to it, nuts and bolts and everything, but small schools, and to me, Rensselaer still is small school. I don't think you should be a 3A. You should be a 2A, but that's another
It's out of our hands, isn't it?
Yeah. But are you paying for that 20-win season this year a little bit from, the way you guys cleaned up last year with all those seniors?
Well, I think there's a part of that where when we have a strong class, and as strong as that class was across the board. So you look at any sport that those seniors were a part of, they were relatively successful. Cross country won a sectional. When they were juniors, we won a sectional, but we won the conference last year. They had state contenders in swimming. They had state contenders in wrestling. They had track and field that made it out of sectional, I think. So they had a large impact on what was happening in the sports world for Rensselaer Central. And so there's a couple things that happen. The hope is that younger people learn how to compete and how to do that and want to be a part of it. Another side that can happen is kids don't have to take the responsibility, and they allow for an upperclassman to be able to do it for them. And I think we're somewhere in the middle of that. I think we have people who want to step up, and they're trying to figure it out. And what we're trying to do is give them a green pasture to be able to move. It's just taken us a little bit of time to get there. And it's very frustrating for the boys. I think it's frustrating for us as coaches to see them struggle. We want them to be successful. We want to support them through it. But at the same time, this isn't a hand-holding moment to just kind of wish it to go away. We've got some tough realities that are facing us, and if we don't get it figured out, a loss like what we had at Twin Lakes will happen again and again and again. And Twin Lakes is a good team, and they handled us as such. And the beginning of that game, we spotted them 11 points before we put our first point on the board. It was 11-0, and it was all from turnovers.
Wow.
And so, we didn't we shot a shot the first possession and then turned it over 3 or 4 times in a row. And that was, we spotted them that, and then it was us trying to struggle back and claw back, and we just couldn't get a rhythm.
So it's a learning process, but you're learning on the job.
Yeah, very much so. It is baptism by fire.
Yeah.
Absolutely baptism by fire. And I think that's honestly the worst way to learn, because it's so unforgiving. And to win varsity basketball games, it is a task. It is something that you have to earn. And I think that the boys they know that now. And our record, I think, is a reflection of we're just not there. And it's not because we don't want to be. We're just not there yet. And so that's very difficult, but it is the reality, and we have to face it, and we have to stand up to it and make it different.
I can't get over that statistic of 28 shots a game. That's almost more important than turnover, anything, rebound.
Well, if you give the ball away 17 times,
that's the reason behind it.
Yeah. So some of those we're not even getting past half court. It's just a bad read. Someone's throwing the ball to the wrong person. I think we had one last night where the guy went to inbound and threw it to the wrong shirt, and so that turns not only to a turnover but an immediate layup. And so when that happens, we go from being we're down 3 points, and now we're down 5, and now you're struggling, and you come down and you throw it away the second time, and so now it's compounding effect. Sure. And so those 2 or 3 minute spans have been some of the difference making in our games. And so but when we look at what we've done, playing against McCutcheon, playing against West Lafayette, those were not the same types of games. We were there playing against Hanover Central last night, even though it was a tough grind of a game. We played, our defense was strong. We were not giving up, ridiculous things. At the same time, to only score 33 points, that's not a typical Rensselaer Central system. It's not what I've been a part of, at least.
Right.
We've found a way to put the ball in the hole, and we've worked through some stuff, and we're just having a very difficult time right now.
Are there nerves involved with this or no?
Nerves as in feeling anxious.
Yeah,
I don't know that we're
throwing the ball away, or
I think that turnovers? Sometimes it's a level of frustration. Maybe I dribble myself into a spot where I've got 3 guys around me, so then I chuck the ball to where I think someone's supposed to be. So maybe that is nervousness, but I equate that more to they're making a decision based on improper information. They think they have an opening and they don't, and then rather than just jump stopping and allow for other people to come around, they don't. Or when they do get in trouble, the other guys stand and look at it like, I'm open, just throw me the ball, and they can't. And so we have to get better at, number one, avoiding those situations, but number 2, when someone gets in a situation, we move ourselves to be in a much more available spot.
So I'm sure you're thinking this is going to be correctable.
I do believe it's correctable. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think this is fatal. I think this is more along the lines of us trying to figure out how to get them to connect to the right time and the right moment. And I think if we do that, we can still have a very fine run. I think that we have enough skill, and I think that that's really important for us. I read something today that talent sets the floor and character sets the ceiling. And so I feel like we know where we can go, but we also have an idea of where we can end up. And I think that's really where we need to start putting things together.
Are you getting healthier as a team?
Well, the 2 broken legs are still broken, we're working on those. Brian did play. He played North White, and so the last 3 games he was able to play.
How did his ankle hold up? It was ankle, right?
I think he's still pretty sore. He doesn't have the same lift that he normally does. It's harder for him. Last night there wasn't anyone that was his size, and he had a difficult time really maneuvering. So once someone smaller than him would just start pushing, he went to just not being pushed. And usually Brian is a little bit more agile with his footwork, and I don't think he has quite that same agility yet. And getting up off the floors, I think it's pretty tough for him.
All right, what's ahead next?
Well, we have a road game, or actually the JV play on road tomorrow with South Newton, and then we play a doubleheader with the girls on Friday night against South Newton, and then we have a little bit of a break, which takes us to Boone Grove over the holiday area. So that's the 27th, and then January we go back to home and play Central Catholic.
South Newton's playing better than they originally did in the first part of the year. They won their first game last night.
Well, I don't ever take South Newton for granted. So, knowing that they're playing better is exactly what I expect for them to do. I mean, they usually, when we go in there, they're not a team that just lays down and lets you do whatever you want. I mean, again, you have to earn your wins.
Right.
And so I expect us to earn our win. And, I want our guys to play well. I want our guys to compete. I want our guys to take care of business. And if we do that, that's a lot better for us. But I don't think that South Newton's just going to come in and go, well, it's Rensselaer, I guess we're not going to play hard. I think that they will play hard, and if we are messing around, it will be a game we don't want to play.
JV Bombers, how are they doing?
They did win a game at North White, which was really important for them. They're a very inexperienced guy. They're young guys. They're very young, and so we're trying to keep them plugged in. Each day they're coming in, they're getting a little bit better. They had a great practice tonight, hopefully to show up and do some good stuff tomorrow night at South Newton. And so, there's a lot to learn, and it comes really fast. I think I said it not too long ago. The jump between 8th grade and JV is a big jump. And so a lot of these boys, and I know we're not the only school that has to do this, but a lot of those boys that come from 8th grade and are expected to play JV, that's tough to do. It's a different level. It's a different expectation. You have to hold more into your head at the same time as you've got to pick up the pace and be able to cut harder and be stronger. And that's hard on a 14-year-old body. They're not physically there yet. So we're trying. We're getting them.
All right, Chad. Thank you very much, and good luck, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Scotty, I think we're just going to wrap it up here. We've had enough commercials here, so Billy, we'll see you Friday night at Tri-County.
All right, looking forward to it, Bob. That could be a real good Midwest Conference deal.
North White and Tri-County, 6:15 pregame Friday night right here on 3KG. I'd like to thank all the sponsors for making the show possible. Beth and the gang here at Arnie's for providing the food and drinks for the coaches. And for Scotty Miller, Bill Kay, this is Bob Kurtz. So long, everybody.
The proceeding was a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.